Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Themis and Thought. Grab your coffee, water, tea, whatever you're drinking, go and get that. I hope you all are doing well. I apologize for being a bit late. We were trying to sort some things out on the back end. Ground rules, two. First, do not be disrespectful. Regardless of what is happening or what you think is happening, do not be disrespectful. We have been trying to talk to men across the gamut in terms of their experiences and how we engage. I know that this channel is 95%, the last time I checked was 95% women, and over 85% Black women. So I am excited. I know that you guys have wanted me to conduct more interviews. So my team, Kilo, has been reaching out and trying to get people who are having community type discussions online. So the first thing, do not be disrespectful. The second thing is I will try as best as I can to find as many of the questions that are in the comment section and I'll include them in our discussion. That's it. All right, so grab your coffee, water, tea, whatever you're drinking, go and get that. And after the intro, we will have Keith on here to introduce himself and we'll get straight into the discussion. All right. Hey, how are you?
Hey, I'm good. What's going on?
Nada. I am very excited to be talking to you after going through your TikTok. I noticed you had a Substack, and I went over there to do some reading. But
Okay.
before I get into that, would you like to introduce yourself to the community, and then we'll get into it?
Well, you can, like I said, you just call me Keith C. You know, 29 from the South. I don't go like too
Mhm.
specific about it, but yeah, I make content. I really don't go too hard on the content. Like I just say enough, but I try not to do too much. But I do have
What
a
is your
Substack.
what is your content about generally?
Like, see, I'm just that perspective. I just try to be that perspective that has like wisdom to it and also experience. But I'm not really too. I mainly talk about relationships, money, and just like things that are trending, like trending topics. That's really what my social media is about.
Are you the writer on your Substack?
Yeah. I write the. I haven't been on there in a while, but yeah, I write those pieces.
Is it in conjunction with your channel? How is it different from your channel?
Like like I said, I haven't. I made this. I think I might have only done a small handful of articles on there, like Substack. I don't really have like a following on there. Like I'm on there, but I haven't really put a lot of effort into like growing it because I don't know too much about it. I just seen it's an outlet that creators can grow on, but it's mainly relationships. I think on my Substack. I think that's where I get into my relationship bag at on there.
Gotcha. Um, when you think about the content that you provide, what is it that you want people to get away from what you write?
Like for people to get away from as far
What
as
you write, what you provide, your general content.
and you saying like what I want people to get away from.
What do you want them to take away from
Oh,
your video?
okay. What I want them to take away. Like I really just want to like bring people back to like a more grounded space. I got videos where I've said that before. Like I feel like everyone nowadays they're not grounded necessarily, and they're just all over the place. Like, but relationships that's my main niche. Most of my content, my most viral videos, it's about relationships.
Good. All right. What one of your first videos that I saw, the video that got sent to me, and I think we'll get into it later.
Yeah, that's fine.
Um, you took it down.
I did. I did.
Not not the substance of the video, but is that something that you do? Like, why do you take videos down? How do you decide what videos to take down?
Like I got a lot of videos that's just only me, that's private to me. Like if I take a video down if I'm getting too many comments that are just like where people have missed where I was coming from. Cause like I explain myself. Most of the videos I put out, I do try to be concise, really, and put out and thorough with what I'm saying. I will give examples and I put a caption. But when the comments are completely opposite of that, I'm like, yeah, let me take this down. I don't feel like arguing with nobody. So I remove it.
Gotcha.
I remove it.
So it's not that you don't stand behind the videos anymore, it's that it might be misinterpreted and it's
Yeah.
causing issues.
Yeah. And if you're getting 40 comments, I don't feel like replying to like I might reply to one person and then boom. Now I'm steady getting more and more comments. And it's like
Yeah.
I don't be having I'd rather take it down. I'm like, you know what? This one missed this its point. I'll take it down.
The lady said, come on, boundaries. Um, the I don't like looking at the comments because it's funny. They seem to like you thus far. You in one of your videos, because I watch every single one of your videos on your channel, FYI, in preparation for this, you said you were studying something. Are you in school?
Yeah, I'm a business major.
Ah, nice, nice. What do you plan on doing with that?
Well, like right now, like I do blue collar work. Like I'm a lineman, but just have have a business degree under my belt and just kind of go from there.
Do you so right now it's blue collar. Do you
Yeah.
have a plan? Do you have now you say get the business degree under your belt and go from there, but is there like a kind of long-term strategy? I mean, when I was in uni, I didn't know what I was doing, so
Long term, just
yeah.
honestly max out my 401k, Roth account, HYA, you know what I'm saying? Just really just build wealth long term while seeing what opportunities present themselves to me, like climb the corporate ladder, like in this blue collar work I'm doing, but you know, just taking a day at a time.
All right. So if 5 years from now, sorry, I don't mean to push on this, but
I'm
I'm
listening.
fascinated with how people think about their futures. 5 years from now, what would you want to see happening in your life?
Mm, just continuing to be healthy, investments continue to grow, have my degree, and see what opportunities like are available.
Yeah. And in terms of career, what would be your perfect career?
See, and this is like a lot of people. Like oddly enough, I'm passionate about like cooking. Like I would financial like cards line up properly. I have like a nice like brunch like cooking setup. That's what I really. But you can't
Cooking what?
always monetize your passions immediately. Sometimes it takes like the groundwork.
Gotcha. So it would be in the realm of like culinary arts, like
Yeah, because I got like a cooking background. Like I've managed kitchens and whatnot for like years, so I know what it takes to
uh,
run like a kitchen. So yeah, I'm passionate about that, but I make a lot more doing blue collar. So that's
gotcha.
what I make currently.
All right. So we do you have any questions for me before we jump into your content and talking about your content in more depth? Do you have any?
Oh no, I'm chill. I'm here for the experience.
All right, cool. So you make a lot of videos on TikTok and a lot of them really go out there and go viral, and a lot of people are engaging in discourse around you and your content. Um, the video that I saw initially was, I think, on first listen, even though it's no longer there, I think people might have a misconception of what you were saying. Do you want to talk about the video and explain what you were doing in that video? And then we can get into a
You talking about the
conversation.
one I took down?
Yeah.
Yeah, let me see. That was I want to say it was definitely over a week ago, maybe like 2 weeks ago. I made that video. So that video didn't even. I don't. That video didn't. It didn't. It would have gone super viral, like some of them do sometimes. I took it down. I was like, you know what? It's a lot of just people upset in these comments. So let me just. I didn't want to wake up and have 100,000 views on that video, and it's 1,000 comments of people pissed off. So, and they'll be pissed off because they didn't understand me. But that video was about. So I said, I think the title was. Let me see. Let's see if I can pull it up real fast. Like I said, I didn't delete it. It's just private. But it was along the lines about something to do with black men, of course. Something to do with black women. Did I make it? Hold on. Let me see. I'm not, no, but I definitely can explain it. There's nothing to explain what I got going on with something. I think about the content I put out before I post it. Let me see. I'm pulling up right now. Society expects men, and then I was like mainly speaking about black men and women because, that's just given. Society expects men to just figure it out. I got that in air quotes, just figure it out, while setting guidelines for the girls, noticeably in families. Oh yeah, that video got 300 likes. Yeah, when I seen it had 300 likes in a couple hours, I was like, yeah, this is gonna be one of them wake up, and I'm gonna have like potentially thousands of like engagements on there. I said I've seen in many families you will have the sisters excelling while the brothers are stuck in loops when it simply came down to how well they were nurtured and poured into. Generally speaking, society doesn't help men become competent. It's expected of them. Women, on the other hand, will get, there's a typo, will get help with or without, but they will get there. Men just kind of end up homeless, etc. That just puts on some hashtags.
Gotcha. Someone said good point. I think she probably wasn't listening all the way. The chat is very funny. Hearing that, do you want to explain what it is that you were trying to convey?
So, like I said, with that, I made that post based off of my experiences and what I've seen. Like, so I've seen this in my unfortunately I've seen it in my own family members. I've seen other people's families. Like, you in real life have, like men and families who you like. I got like friends and whatnot and peers. You will see like the brothers and sisters. They'll be like on two completely different trajectories in life, and you'll kind of watch how like their family like might have put like the girls like really hyper focused on the girls like development and whatnot, and just really raise them to be like, okay, I'm gonna make sure you a strong independent woman who don't need no man and never got to depend on a man. And as far as the boys go, it's like, oh, well, the boys, we just gonna let the boys just be boys. And it's like that's doing the boys a disservice because that same, expectation that they putting on the boys, well, the same expectation that they putting on the girls is like y'all could like those same families could pour into those boys more. Like I worked in the prison system as well, and a lot of the young guys in there, them dudes would be locked up, and it's like, and all they ever needed was somebody to like really pour into them and just really be there for them, and a lot of them didn't have that. And so then people looking from the outside, especially other communities, they'll be like, "Oh, well, those people, something's just inherently wrong with them." It's not the case. Nurture has a lot to do with how people turn out. And like I say, if you got like specifically black boys, nobody's worrying about them and worrying about their development. That's why they turn to drugs, violence, end up in the streets. And like I said, I've seen, like, I got friends. Like, I was raised completely different than a lot of my friends. I had a father at home. I had aunts and uncles pouring into me, making sure that I had a head on my shoulders. But my same friends same environment, they didn't have nobody helping them. And they ended up drugs, jail, streets, didn't not alive anymore. And I've seen women, those I seen a lot of girls in my community neighborhoods. They parents, oh my goodness, all they put the girls on pedestals, and they brothers be out selling drugs. And I'm like, how your sister on honor roll, and I'm like, what's your why your parents like where your parents at, as far as making sure, like I said, I'm saying making sure you stay on the right path. And like I said, I've seen this stuff a lot. That's why I felt compelled to make that video based off of lived experiences.
So is the argument that girls are being trained and raised in a very specific disciplined way that allow them to have a certain kind of outcome, where boys are allowed to sort of not engage in academia and developing in very specific ways that would lead them to have a better outcome?
You asking like what are you asking?
Yeah. So, because the video can be interpreted as no one cared for the boys and they only poured love into the girls and the girls became successful. Whereas another interpretation could be the women, the girls are being disciplined and they are being forced to go to school. They're being forced to engage in developing certain skills where boys are allowed to just be boys and run out, run amok, whatever, and do not have the kind of discipline that the girls develop.
Let me see, just like what I'm getting at is just like the boys, they expect boys to like play sports and to stay out of trouble. And with the girls, it's like, and I just anything isn't everything. Like I'm not saying it's 100% on either sides, but that's what I've seen, and that's what I've seen a lot. Like the girls got to go out there and make the good grades, and not need a man, and that's what I've seen a lot of.
Gotcha. Um, and so you're saying, in terms of raising boys, we need to treat boys more in the way that we treat girls, in terms of making sure that they are going to school, doing well, and having structure, and not just let them run amok.
Yeah, for 100%. Like boys need to be poured into and nurtured. And I'm not talking about. I say I got a lot of comments on that video saying like, "Oh, boys are coddled." And another reason why I made that video, a lot of my videos, I make them. I see a content creator. A lot of that stuff be rage bait. A lot of it's rage bait that the videos I'll see. A creator said like, she was like, let me see. She was like, "Oh, men are just coddled, and the moms coddle the sons, and just basically just along those lines." And I'm just kind of like, mama's boys is a thing. It's definitely a thing. Daughter, daddy's girls, that's a thing too. But like, nah, I do feel like some women, don't get me wrong. I know about the narrative of mothers hating their daughters. I've seen that in real life. There's some truth to that. It's not 100%, but yeah, that's a thing too, of moms and daughters being at odds. The moms hating on the daughters. Yeah, that's definitely real. But
But
I
isn't that, I thought that's what you were saying though, that the boys are being coddled, where the girls are getting disciplined. I thought that's how I interpreted what you just said. Um, because the more you coddle someone, the less developed they are in terms of dealing with problems, right? If the mother or the family is stepping in when the boy get into trouble, he doesn't develop the kind of equipments to deal with it on his own. Whereas I thought you were saying the girls are having to develop certain kinds of skills because they are not being coddled.
So me put it like this: the girls, for like I said, from what I've seen, my lived experience, I know that other people have seen. I know that's a real narrative. It's real. Some boys are coddled. I know some spoiled boys who've gotten coddled. Yeah, that's definitely true. But I do feel like a good reason why so many young black men have ran astray is because the attention wasn't put into them, like how their sisters sisters on honor roll. Like, why is the sister on honor roll middle, like elementary school? Why is middle school and the brother not on honor roll? If they're in the same household, same circumstances, that's kind of what that video was really created off of. Things like that. I see that a
Yeah.
lot.
No, I actually agree with you. I don't know where the disconnect is. So the disconnect seemed to be at what we define as coddling, because in my head, forcing me to do well in school and clean up the place and come in before a certain time and just always being strict with me, is that what you're saying is coddling, where the boys are allowed to not have to go to school, not have to try as hard, not have to show up and clean the house the way girls are? Is that like, how do you define coddling?
See, I didn't really use the words coddling in the video. I just was saying like girls when they're young, from when they're young until they're college age, oftentimes in black families, other households too, but they're just told, hey, you gotta go to school, you gotta make these grades so you can get you a good job and take care of yourself. And it's the same messages with boys, but with the boys, it's not as intentional. My issue is I've seen it, been through it. It's not as intentional with the boys. It's like, oh, if the boys don't do what we tell them to do, they gotta, they're boys. They're gonna have to just figure it out. But it's a lot more intention with the girls, is what I've
Yeah,
seen.
because there's a bunch of studies that I've been reading that talks about how we adultify black girls, and like we give them a lot of responsibility. And while that's bad, it actually makes them able to adapt when they're older, because they've been treated like an adult ever since they was a child. So they don't really have a childhood and they have to like become successful, if so to speak, where instead of using coddling, there is an infantilizing of boys, because I think we like having sons. I know every one of the women in my family like having sons, except my mom. And they were almost treated like a prize. Um, but I think those are different. That's your experience and my experience. What would be the general stat here? And I think the general stat would show that girls have stricter rules, where boys are allowed to sort of be children. Maybe not in the best way, though.
Let me see. There's definitely some. I'm sure there's some truths to that. Like girls, this is something I heard as a kid. This is something I heard. I have a sister. This is something I've heard. Um, my dad used to say, okay, as far as dating goes, when my sister was like when we were younger, he would say like, oh, you know, they were more stricter on my sister when it came to dating, because of he would say like, at the end of the day, if I would have gone out there, I don't have any kids, but if I would have went out there and had kids, that more than likely the child would go live with the mother, and it'd be primarily the mother's responsibility.
Hmm.
And if my sister would have had kids, you know, out of wedlock and not have done it responsible, then the baby, that's another child in our household, and it's just, and if it continues to happen, that's a lot of kids, and and basically putting is like making your life harder. Like, hey, if your brother go out there and have a kid, I don't make the rules. Unfortunately, that's how it
Which,
is.
but actually, the question then is, which one of those people would be coddled? You or your sister in that scenario?
Coddle.
Let's use the
Well,
word coddle though, like the one that is like treated. How do you want to define coddle?
like I don't coddle. And what I'm talking about, I wouldn't say. Like I said, I would say stricter. I think the word like coddle, that's a whole different word. Like I think stricter is just a better word, or less strict or more strict. But coddle,
Okay, so but the person who is the one that would be the one, your sister, who experienced a stricter parent, would not be the one that is being coddled, right? Like coddling is like to indulge the child and to like protect the child, but also allow the child to be a child. Whereas when you're being strict as a parent, it is a restriction that does not feel like coddling. So that's why I wanted to figure out which one you were going down. Are you saying you would have preferred for your parent to tell you not to have children the way that they told their daughter, your sister, not to have children?
Well, oddly enough, my sister has kids. Like I said, I ended up being the one without kids, but they were still
That's funny.
they were still strict on me. I couldn't have girls over and all kind of stuff. I had my own regulations and rules, that or whatever. But I guess they were less strict on me. They were, as far as like women went and dating.
And so, does he consider the reason the girls have more pressure is because the family expects them to take care of everyone when the elders get older? Do you want to respond to that?
Yeah, I've been looking at that. Is the reason the girls have more pressure the family expect them? I mean, being like women raising girls, I don't like I said, I don't have kids, but I have a general understanding of how it works. Like girls, they're nurturers. So yeah, like typically daughters do, as they get older, they do take care of, family members and whatnot. That is that's definitely a responsibility. But I don't have a problem. Like me and my sister probably gonna be taking care of our parents in old age. Like I don't. Me and my sister was both raised with similar like upbringings. Like I'm a bachelor. I cook, clean, do everything for myself. But I know, unfortunately, that's not the norm. I was in a 2-parent household. I was taught both gender roles, masculine roles, and I guess you call it feminine. See, cooking and cleaning isn't feminine. Like I don't
Wait, okay.
think that's feminine.
I think the chat wants you to get into this, and I don't know if they're being messy or if they actually want to know. How do you define masculine and feminine roles?
Like that's like I just said. Like I don't think cooking and cleaning is feminine. Like that's just being an adult.
Yeah.
Like, but yeah, I cook, clean. Like I say, I literally would love to like have like a brunch spot or something. Like, and I like being. I try to teach my nephew. I literally went had like this weekend. I'm telling him, I'm like, hey, because his room was dirty, and I go to him. I say, hey, I say your room's dirty. I said, don't you think you deserve to live in a clean living space? Don't you think you deserve this isn't punishment? I'm like, don't you think you deserve to be in a clean space? Like you don't feel like you and once I broke that down to him, he stopped arguing with me. Cause he's not even a teenager yet. And he realized where I was coming from. And he went ahead and cleaned his room up.
Gotcha. Oh,
You know,
period. Look at you.
you know,
You made a video about the good black man.
oh Lord.
And
I said, oh Lord.
wait, why are you saying oh Lord? Where do you not stand behind your videos?
Well, is that one still up or no?
Oh wait, are you taking down the videos?
I'm asking, like, I
Oh
got
yeah, no, that it's still up.
videos.
I'm gonna play it actually. I'm glad you asked if it's still up. Let's play
I
it.
think it is. I think I
Yeah,
had
yeah,
all black on.
yeah. Let me play it. I'm gonna play it
Yeah,
for
let me
the.
hear it.
I remember when I was 22, I was dating a girl and she like woke up with me when like shit was like really nice between us. I'm thinking like everything's sweet. And she literally breaks up with me because she's like, oh, I just feel like you're going to just do me wrong. Like, just basically, I guess, afraid of being treated right type shit. So she self sabotaged our connection.
Yeah.
And she literally gets pregnant by like a much older guy, leaves her as a single mom. I end up running into this girl like 6, 7 years later. She's a single mom of 3 little girls now. And she literally tried to be like, oh, I've been missing you and she wanted to basically try things again. You know, I'm still a young bachelor at this point. You know, I got myself together. It's just like the idea is like, shorty, we could have built this thing together. These 7 years that went by, that could have been us. But during them 7 years, you just messed yourself up. Now you want to try to get back with me? I guess because you feel like I'm doing all right. That's crazy. And it's so many women that do that. So many. It's like, why is the guy, why can't somebody be too good to be true? And they actually end up being good. Like, why is that so scary?
Yeah, that's me.
All right, so tell me the story. Can you give us the detail of the story? Because I was listening to it and I'm like, oh, that's sad.
Yeah, I was like 22. It was a girl. She was working at like a sports center type of job place, and I know I approached her. She was like 21. I was like 22. I approached her, whatever. This is back before Instagram was like Instagram. Not this, because it's like three different Instagrams. There was the old Instagram, then there was like the 2016 Instagram, and then there's the current Instagram, which is lame. But this was like the old Instagram days. Like I told her I was trying to get her number or whatever, and she was like, "Oh, I can give you my Instagram or something like that." And I was like, "Well, I really would like your phone number, so I really can, get to know you or not." And she gave me her number. She ended up giving me. She's like, "You know what? I'll give you my number." So we hit things off communication wise, just talking and stuff, and we end up, building a strong like connection or whatever. And she just ended up like just ghosting me because she was like, "Oh, I felt like you were too good to be true." And I ran into her like 7 years later, and she just tells me, she's like, "Look," she apologized. She's like, "I'm sorry." She was like, you were just something I was afraid of because I hadn't ran into that before." I just was like, I didn't have no harsh feelings. I still don't have no harsh feelings towards her. But she was like, if you want to, try to, you know, go out and whatever, whatever. I just was like, we can be friends. I just told her we can be friends, but I just wasn't really too interested in trying to start a relationship over, based on, like I said,
How
she had
old?
3 kids.
How old were you when you met her up again? When you saw her the last time?
I want to say I was like 26, 27. Somewhere up, let me see, maybe even like 20, like going on 28, like probably 27 and a half.
All right. So you all were together when you were 20. Were you all ever together?
We weren't like in a full-blown relationship, but we had been seeing each other for like, it's like, so I'll be the word see, relationships, I don't like titles. See, I can make a video on this right here. This is literally how videos come up for me. I just think about something like, let me put this into words for people. But like I know people who are married. I know like a girl and a guy, they're married, and the guy, he disrespectful to his wife, cheats on her, all kind of stuff. So I'm like, what does a title even mean sometimes if the actions don't line up? It's like that's why I kind of like titles sometimes. I feel like if I'm treating somebody right, intentional dates, I'm seeing them exclusively. Sometimes the titles you get lost in the sauce putting titles on things. I care about actions more than anything, honestly.
How long were you getting to know her?
I was getting to know her. We had known each other for like, oddly enough, 6 or 7 months. 6 or 7 months. It wasn't like a full year. But
Wait. So wait, I just like the story because I think it's a good way to like for the women listening
yeah.
for them to level set. So you guys met at 24?
No, like early 20s. I was like freshly 22. She was like
You did
20.
say 22. You did say 22.
Yeah.
And then you dated for 6 months.
Yeah.
And you thought things were going well.
Yeah, I thought they were going amazing. Like,
but you guys never confirmed like a relationship.
Nah, we never like said, "Oh, you my girlfriend, I'm your boyfriend," but we acted like it. We would definitely acted like it. I mean,
and then she decided to end it with you
Yeah.
and went and dated some other guy, and now he's a baby mother of 3 children.
Yeah, like Shorty got three daughters to be specific. Shorty got 3 daughters out here.
And was it 3 different men or with the same guy?
Three different men.
Got it. And then she saw you. You guys met up back in your mid-20s, and
Yeah.
she wanted to come back with you. Why was that not an option?
Like, cause like if she didn't have them kids, I probably would have, been like, oh, what is hey big head or whatever. I might would have been on that type of time. But it's like, I don't know, like I wanted you 3 babies ago. Like, what are we talking about? Like, that's how I felt towards her. Like, short, I wanted you 3 babies ago.
And what changes with the 3 babies?
Like, one of my cousins, he talking to me right now. Like, he like a girl. She got a kid. I'm like, look, a girl having 1 kid, especially when you get in your 30s, it changes. Like, things change. But a girl having 1 kid, I could see, I could give that a chance. I could, if the connection is there. But once a woman got 2 kids, 3 kids, okay, you providing for yourself. You're providing for her as far as pouring into the relationship financially. And now, she got a kid. Like, y'all can't go out to eat. So y'all can't go out to eat and you not pay for the child's food. And then dating a woman with kids, it's a responsibility. Like, you have to accept that woman with her child. Like, it's a bonus deal. You can't only date her. That's like borderline narcissistic to think, oh, I'm only gonna be involved with the mama and do it. Not like, that's weird. So I'd rather not even get into something like that if that's not what I'm fully prepared to do.
Got it. That sounds like a Life Jennings song, so I know she's got kids. The good guy in the scenario was you, right?
Yeah, you can say that.
When you said the good guy, it had to be you.
Yeah, that was me.
What do you think makes you a good guy, and not just you specifically? What makes a good guy?
See, it's levels to that. See, all this is content right here, like that I choose not to see. When I make videos, I'm about to explain. I'm about to answer you, but when I make most of my videos, they are spontaneous. I'm talking about, I will just make a video on the spot, and it'll just sometimes take off because like people tell me all the time in the comments, "Oh, you really had a good point there," and I like painting pictures with words. That's something I've always done. I like breaking things down and making
Ye-
metaphors and just and people gravitate towards that.
I
But
think I want to add something to that because I'm a writer also. I think more of us should write, and I do appreciate that you write. When I saw your Substack is when I was like, yeah, we should probably talk. But go ahead.
yeah, what makes them see a good guy, good man, is levels to it, and it's layers. So what makes somebody good is their actions and who they are character wise, and like if they would the traits that they have, like being honest, integrity, ambitious, how do they treat people who can't help them necessarily, just things like that. That's what makes somebody good. Like, that's literally like the building blocks of making someone a good guy. Just how they treat people, their character.
Yeah. You did a video also, and you talked about the attack on men online.
Oh yeah, it's another one.
Do you want to play the video? Or do you want to just talk about that generally?
Let me see. Yeah, I remember making that video. That was a spontaneous one because I seen oh my goodness, my For You page is, the word I learned is called misandry. It's a lot of like men haters on TikTok. I know a lot of it's rage bait. Like, people are insecure. I literally was just before this video, I was on the phone with my mama, and I was telling her how the internet, because older people, they don't fully understand how this stuff works. They get sucked into this internet stuff more than young people, and how you have people who make content and they prey on people who are insecure, who will looking for somebody to align with. But yeah, with that video, a girl was just out of the hundreds. They were just down talking men, saying all these horrible things about men. And I made that video just saying what I said about the. Let me see, bro. American
But
women.
this
Oh my
attack
goodness,
on men online is just becoming disturbing to
I
me.
had to bust
Bro,
that.
if you really pay attention to what's going on in the Middle East,
I had to
what's
just do
going
that.
on in all these third world countries, and all these women are getting on
I
online,
got
just
you. Don't have to
talking about men
no, no,
tricking.
yeah, I got you.
Wait, why don't you want me to play?
that video was funny. Like I laughed at that video more than anything. I laughed
So,
at that
so misandry,
messenger.
is mis- I have an accent. I apologize. So misandry, as it is pertaining to men and black men in particular, do you find that to be a huge problem online? How do you engage with it?
It's very huge online, and it's so toxic to. It's toxic to young women. They're impressionable, and if you have people just saying who are older than you, younger people look to older people for guidance and examples and whatnot. So if you got women in their mid-20s, 30s, 40s, everything that come out their mouth is, oh, men are bad, men are evil, men are inherently evil, men just want to hurt you, men are all these horrible things. Like that's raising a generation of women to just hate men and not want anything to do with men. And it's like, yes, there are horrible men out there. I know horrible men. They're out there. But that's not all men in no type of fashion. That's nowhere near all men. Honestly, I feel like most men are just regular dudes who just go to work, take care of their family, pay bills, and just want a peaceful life. I feel like that's the majority of men.
Raising my youngest son has been my hardest task in life. My older son is 10 years old, but he was easy and lives on his own with 4 children. My daughter is traveling the world with 0 children. Oh, good on you, Maddie. It looked like you just created a lovely family. Um, what percent of men would you think is bad? And do you think that women talking online about men generally is is a bad thing?
So, percentage of men that are bad. So, women, they're speaking, men are good. Man, that's hilarious. So, this is the other half of that. Women are speaking from their experiences with the men that they chose to get involved with. And unfortunately, a lot of the bad men, for some reason, women be gravitating towards a lot of those bad men. So, and I'm just like, they gravitate towards those bad men, and now their whole entire perspective of the gender of men is skewed. And it's like, out of, let's just say, 10 guys, she got involved with the one who's a narcissist and who's just, demonic in spirit, I guess you could say. But the
Or
other nine,
do you think a man is a bad man if he cheats?
I think a man's a bad man if he cheats. So let me see. If I think a man's a bad man, he's bad. His character, like that's like a character flaw to
So,
cheat on someone. That's a character flaw.
so is he a bad man?
It's see, it's layers to being a bad. Like, all right, so could a man be a good father and cheat?
Not the question.
Not the
Not the
question.
question.
Okay, bad cheating, bad. Yeah, I say yeah. I've never cheated before in my life, but yeah, I think yeah, I say that. I loosely say that loosely. I
Wait,
say that loosely.
explain your discontentment.
Cause like, all right, so like when women cheat or something, when and whatnot, you will hear like, oh, she got pushed to it, and there's always kind of like this justification of why the woman might have cheated or whatever. like it's similar to that. I'm pretty sure men can sometimes have certain reasons why they might have, stepped out or something in a relationship or whatever.
Is
And
there any justifiable reason for cheating?
let me see. I think it shouldn't have to get to that. I think when
No,
people cheat, it's because there's a lack of communication and understanding, and somebody felt unheard or something, or they just felt like, you know what, I can't get through to this person, so I'm just gonna go out there and do what I gotta do.
the reason I ask is because, on one hand, you're saying that most men are good.
Yeah,
Um,
I think that's safe to
and
say.
one example that should disqualify, in my mind, and I could be wrong, but in my mind, one example of a disqualifier for you to be a good man or a good woman is that you cheated. As soon as I hear you cheat, you're no longer good to me in my book, right? But it seems that there is a way to define a good man from your perspective that includes men who cheat.
If you cheating, no, like no, I don't. You're not a good man or a good woman if you cheating. I can't co-sign that.
And you don't think most men would cheat?
Would or could, because that's unfortunately a real thing as well.
Actually, could is not important to me. Would implies the mental mind, the mental frame that I care about. So would. If they could, they would. Do you think a lot of men would cheat with the opportunity?
Do I think men would cheat? A lot of men would cheat with the opportunity. It depends on who they are character wise.
Wait, no, 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 it doesn't. Because I think you made the separation, and I preemptively, because I don't want it to be like, oh, we're debating. We're just talking.
Yeah,
So, like, you said would or could. Could would have yield a lot less men than would,
right,
right?
right. Yeah,
So
of course.
so it seems like you're making you're doing the thinking for would. And I'd want to know your conclusion on, would most men cheat if they could get away with it and could do it?
But they can get away with it and do it. I, I, I don't I don't know what they would do as far because cheating. They all I that like I said, I've never cheated. I'm in a relationship if I feel like I need to cheat. If I feel like my needs are going unmet,
But
I'm
do
in.
you think that's a lot of men? No, and we don't know. Obviously, we don't know the answer,
I
right?
don't know. I
But
don't know.
I'm trying because I'm testing a judgment you're making on men, and let me be very upfront as to what I'm doing. If you believe most men are good, but you also believe most men would cheat if they could, then that seems to be an inconsistency from my perspective. Like, most men cannot be good if they would cheat.
If they like it depends like what type of man. Like if that man can't, if he's not satisfied with his partner to where he can't resist temptation, then yeah, he got some character flaws, and that makes him less of a good man for sure. Yeah, but I don't want to just say, okay, let me see, because I do get where you're coming from. I do 100% get where you're coming from, but I do feel like most men are just regular good. I'm a good and regular guys who just they want a wife and kids and a family to come on to.
Yeah, but that doesn't make you good. And that's the thing, because I think a lot of men want that white picket fence, the wife, the kids, whatever. But what you do with that is important. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so
Yeah,
can you provide for wife and children? Should the wife be working? Do you build together? Are you more traditional? And what do you believe in terms of how you treat your wife and how you treat your children? So wanting it is the first step, but then how do you get it? And then how do you treat it once you have it? And I mean family.
Okay, well, here go. I got. Here we go. So most men, they, I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say no because I don't think most men are cheat. Because most men, or especially nowadays, men nowadays, men understand. You know how the dating market and the dating pool has changed in so many ways. Most men do understand. You know, you got you a good woman or something. Like they not, they a lot of them not out here. You know, risking all of that for something that they probably didn't have in the first place.
Uh,
I don't think most men are doing that.
Do you know that infidelity? Well, like, let me ask you a personal question.
I'm
Do you know any man around you who was not cheated?
was not cheated. Let me see. I know a couple married guys who haven't cheated.
All right. Do you know more men who've not cheated than who've cheated?
Yeah, I definitely know more who haven't.
All right. Question: how do you know they have not cheated?
Cause like men, they like to brag. Dudes like to see a lot of
You don't
immature.
actually know is the answer.
I don't
You
know
don't know.
100%, but dudes will tell. I'd have had homeboys. Man,
But in the absence of them telling you that, does
yeah.
that mean they didn't do it?
No, you right. I don't know 100%. You right.
But do you see how easy it was to say they didn't do it? Because my bias is similar to your bias, but it feels like your bias is to think men are good, and that's nothing wrong with that. I think people are good too. And in the way to justify that, you affirm statements that are general without ever having to investigate them at all. Like you can say, "Oh man, my friends don't cheat," but like we don't know.
I know what you're saying. Yeah, these are general. Yeah, most of my statements are general. I can't know 100% of everything.
Yeah,
But
no. But it's not. I speak in generalities too, like we all do. We're human.
yeah.
But I'm saying the bias is your belief in the goodness of men shapes the way you answer questions about men. And I'm not telling you to change it. I'm just pointing that out because the next question I'm going to ask is, with all of the sort of experiences that women have talked about, I have not been, when we think about misandry, I don't think about it in that way because I know the stats around girls and women who've been touched, abused, essayed, all of that, right? And so them being cautious feels right. And the question I keep trying to answer when my young my young cousins come to me and ask me question is, how do I tell them to pick a man? And what are the standards you would give to women in terms of like, how do you pick a guy?
So okay, okay. Like I tell women because, like, look, like I have platonic, relationships with women. Like a lot of women feel like I'm like a safe space for them. I've had a lot of women tell me, "Hey, you are a really great friend, and you're somebody I can talk to about things, and you understand a lot of things." And so yeah, I could tell you what's needed with that. So I'll tell them you have to study somebody. When I say study them, like you have to see how they treat themselves, how they treat others, treat people who can or can't help them. You have to see how they treat you, and those things right there help you determine if this person who they are when they're not around you. Because cheating happens when y'all separate. But I
My
don't
Go ahead. No, go ahead. Go ahead.
like. But like I say, what I was like kind of getting at earlier, like with the whole good or bad, like those words are so general. 'Cause like I don't think somebody's necessarily 100% bad if they cheated, but I don't want to. They're also not 100% good either.
Yeah. No one is 100% good or 100% bad. The question about good and bad is about including and excluding people from dating or access to you, right? And so one of the things that I heard a woman talk about was having a financial threshold. So if you plan to have kids, um, not dating someone who makes under, I think it was like 75 or $80,000 if
Yeah.
you live in DC or Atlanta or New York. Do you think that is smart to have like a financial requirement for engagement generally as a good guy?
Oh my goodness, like these money conversations, like I made a video about these money conversations. I took it down in the past, but I only took it down because it didn't really get a lot of engagement. Like I like to keep up engaging videos. Like if it doesn't get a lot of engagement, I don't really see the point of just having it on my profile, just taking up space. I want people to be able to see engaging content. So that's what's gonna catch their eyes. But yeah, if you live in Atlanta, I've been to Atlanta before. If you live in Atlanta, I'm big on, because I come from a small family, well, a big family, but I come from a family that didn't have much. Like my grandfather, who's like 100 years old, he he started off like, yeah, 100 years old. That's a lot of life experience. But yeah, 100 years ago, people didn't have anything, and everybody was poor. Nobody had anything 100 years ago. So, well, the black people at least, for the most part. Yeah, you had some, but for the most part, and people struggled. They struggled, and they found ways. And as time progressed, and those people grew, they had love and connection, and people just they figured out stuff. I think having like a big happy family is just as important than being like living a life of luxury. Because I don't really have a lot on materialism. I'm not really a person who's caught up in materialism. So yeah, if a man made 75,000 in Atlanta and a woman made, let's say, 50,000 in Atlanta, okay, y'all working with 125,000 a year, gross. They should be able to live a nice, comfortable life with that 125K and grow from there, like, and just go up from there, if anything.
Is the financial requirement by women an issue, or should the good guy be able to meet these financial expectations? Or some, like, what if, do you think about finances in terms of family? Because I'll let you talk and then I'll explain why I ask.
Finances, as far as family goes, like, people need to, like, if you see, like I said, I'm speaking from experience. Like my grandparents had 10 kids. I know that was a long time ago,
Yeah.
but people found ways. Like, nothing's impossible. People found
Wait,
a way.
wait. When you say found ways, are you saying, is this like an attempt at saying money is not that important?
I think love is more valuable than money. I've seen homeless people,
Someone said, "What can love buy?"
but look, love don't cost a thing though. Like that's true. There's no truth to that statement, or that's all cliche.
I think love is important. Are you asking me for my personal
Yeah,
opinion?
that's just yeah. I think love don't cost a thing.
Wait, ask me a question. Ask me the question you think you want. You
Like
ask me the question you want me to answer.
like is does love have to have like a monetary value attached to it? Does it have to be conditional, like finance
You
wise?
you can love someone that and there not be finances attached. However, that's a different question than having children and a family. I think until we restructure the system to allow the government for poor people to raise children in ways that allow children to compete and have good lives in America, I I think I think poverty trauma is real, and I'm not sure that I am. If I were, if I could not provide financially, I would not want to have children.
That's fair. That's a lot of people, especially nowadays. I mean, like
Um,
I don't have a
sorry, go
problem with women having like financial preferences. My problem is when they project it online and just really just make it their whole personality and just start downplaying and down talking a whole gender of people, or saying, oh, if you aren't making X amount of money, top money, high dollar money, then you're worthless to society and you should just curl up and jump off a bridge, because that content is out there, and that's dangerous. I don't
Yeah.
think that should be pushed, and the algorithms push that stuff.
Hi, Sin. What good do black men bring again? I didn't know like black men, it seems. Right. Well, what good do black men bring? We
Well,
bring melanin, we were kings, protection. What do black men bring? What do we bring?
black men, see, I ran into an old friend from my neighborhood like a couple weeks ago, and we was like I said, I grew up in the hood. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't come from like no lavish lifestyles and all kind of crazy stuff. But he seen him at the mall. He said, "Man, you know, we hadn't seen each other in years." He was like, "Man, bro," he was like, all the stuff we've been through, just just wild stuff. He was like, "You always were that guy who had a good head on his shoulders, and you made sure that you didn't allow certain things to influence you, and you always had your own thoughts." And unfortunately, there's not a lot of that, because I would hang out with the neighborhood fellas and neighborhood crew, but I wouldn't do nothing that'll jeopardize my freedom, my safety, or my family, I guess you could say. But a lot of dudes don't think like that, because they don't have that background. Like I say, I got a family that cared about me, like who wanted the best for me. So
Wait, but that cannot, like, a lot of dudes would care about their family and would not want to jeopardize their family, right? Like that's what a lot. If you believe most men are good, then your position now wouldn't make sense. Like if most men are good, most men would think about their family and not jeopardizing their family, right?
see, they don't understand. They lack understanding. A lot of it's immaturity. A lot of men they be immature. They don't understand what's going on around them, and that and a lot of dudes, it's like I said earlier, it is a lot of bad men out there. I know a lot of bad men, but I also know a lot of great men as well. So yeah, people, dudes, they out here wilding and being selfish, making their families look bad, making their mamas cry. Yeah, that's real. There's a lot of them who aren't too, though.
Got it.
But black men bring a lot to the table, the right ones, because a lot of them lack guidance. Like I said, I had guidance. I had role
What do you
models.
think? What do black men? What do we bring and what should we bring?
Black men, black men bring a lot to the table as far as, see, like I said, it all depends on who you're talking to. Like I'm well read. I know about the freedom fighters, civil rights leaders. A lot of you came and had them type of conversations with a lot of people. They, in general, black men or black women, like they don't know who Thurgood Marshall is. They don't know nothing about MLK necessarily. They know nothing about Malcolm X. Like, but people like just black men, they bring structure, they bring discipline, accountability, and they bring just like leadership as far as taking care of their families. Cause that's all I seen. I seen nothing but men take care of their families, go to work, provide, and just be there to raise their sons up and their daughters up to be, strong men and strong women one day.
Is single motherhood an issue in the black community?
Single motherhood, single motherhood, I think is an issue in all communities, but yes, the black community is definitely an issue because
How? Go ahead, sorry. I did not
I was
mean
gonna
to
say
interrupt.
it leaves the mothers to have to play. Well, Tupac said this best. Tupac said, I hate when brothers make babies and leave a young mother to be a pappy. I heard that line as a young teenager and it always resonated with me. Something I never would want to do with my own, like, see if I,
So But if single mothers are a problem, or single motherhood in the Black community, how can it also be that the Black fathers are involved in there?
Well, I
Don't
was
that,
reading. I'm listening. I was reading this comment.
doesn't that seem inconsistent?
So say that again. Like this comment had got my
That
attention.
Black men are in their children life providing and taking care of their family, and also single motherhood is a problem in the Black community.
Like two things can be true. Like I said, there are
Those
plenty.
are inconsistent though.
I mean, it's a lot of single mothers in the Black community, and there's also a lot of stand-up fathers in the Black community. Those
Yes, but majority of men cannot be stand-up men and in their kids' life in terms of being fathers, and also majority of kids being born out of wedlock to a single parent home. Those are like those statistical reality cannot be true. Like, can you reconcile that for me?
So, all right, yeah. Let me see how I'm gonna put that. So, like I said, with the whole good, the word good is so loose in general, but like it goes back to because here's a statistic I seen. It like I think I seen like somewhere in the pretty much there's more Black women have more kids than Black men have kids. It's more Black mothers than there are Black fathers. So that pretty much says
Upwards of 80% of Black men will have kids by the age of 45.
I seen that stat too,
Yeah, got it.
but it says that pretty much says that a lot of women are having kids with a lot of the same men, unfortunately, and a lot of those same men, like I said earlier in this stream, a lot of those men, they're bad men. They lack character. A lot of them lack, a lot of like morals and character.
Wait, you think that's 80% of Black men up by the age of 45? That 80%, like that's not even the majority, that's like a super majority of
Yeah,
Black men.
I know so many brothers who ain't got kids. It's ridiculous nowadays.
Yeah, yeah. A lot of people, men aren't having kids, but the stats that we're relying on from Pew says by 45, upwards of 80% of Black men will have kids. Combined, sort of the highest among men, except for Hispanic, but Hispanic is not broken down by race in a meaningful way. So, Black men, if most of those are bad, like I'm not even bad, but like if they're absent, they can also be present. You know what I mean? Like, so I don't know, because when I'm talking to my fellow brothers and we are like talking about like relationships, it feels like, and they're talking about their relationship, it feels like men are trying to say Black fathers are in the home, but also trying to attack single mothers. But it feels weird to have over 75% of children being born outside of wedlock and say fathers are in the home. Those things are like inconsistent.
Have you ever seen? I didn't do my research on it, but I've seen a lot of different like articles about Black fathers being like the most involved with their kids or something. You ever seen any of
The
that?
CDC, yeah.
I've seen some of that. Like I say, there's a lot of dudes out here who have kids who was thinking with the wrong head, went out here and made broken families, and then they went and made another broken family. Then when they made another broken, like, but not the Nick Cannon making broken families, because unfortunately he can't afford those kids. But I don't approve of that either. I definitely don't approve of that. But
Yeah, but the CDC stat says when men, Black men in particular, decide to be fathers, they are they are more present than other races of men. Right?
I can see that. I definitely can see that.
But there's a huge qualifier about when they stay, as opposed to like fathers generally.
You said like as when they're older, that's when they be better.
No. So the fathers who stay of the study that was not generalizable. So the conclusion of the study said it is not generalizable. And it's about fathers who, in fact, stay in their family's life. And it's self reported. But my issue is not with the study, it is a reality where people are saying Black fathers are in the home, but single motherhood is the problem in the Black community. Those reality feels diametrically opposed.
I mean, it's a lot of black fathers who not in the homes. Yeah, that's facts. Yeah, there's a lot of them who not. They out here making all these broken homes, and it's a lot of single mothers out here. And it kind of goes back to the previous set of questions. Women kind of like being more. I think black women. I'm just keeping on black women. Like I have a niece who's growing up. I would want her to invest in a kind man who's kind to her, has good moral traits, good character. That's who would make a good father for her. Somebody also somebody she's compatible with, and not off of a lot of the surface level things. The media tells us so many surface level things or what we need to be attracted to, men and women. And honestly, it unfortunately it takes maturity to understand that all that surface level stuff really doesn't mean nothing, and it's not going to be good long term. Like the dudes with the flashy cars who flash money, all it got a good mouthpiece, all that stuff that's trash. None of that stuff really means this is going to be a good father or a good long term partner. But people are invested in those superficial things. Then they make the family. Then they start dating these people. Then those guys aren't serious. You a lot of times can judge that based off how they carry themselves with all the flashiness and just all the spitting game and all that. And then boom, now they just treating that woman like she was just nothing and leave her as a single mother. Or they get with her and they cheat, and then the woman leaves, and that's
Do you know who Sinji is? You know this person?
stingy.
Hmm.
Mm-mm.
So basically, nothing but skin tone because Black men largely can't even protect themselves, and we need protection from Black men. How do you engage with this? Do you engage with this that we cannot protect ourselves and that um, Black men need protection from other Black men and Black women need protection from Black men?
Like this comment. This is somebody who's jaded, and they were just really hurt. Obviously, like they've been hurt, and now they're just projecting like just everything onto everybody in that group. Like I wish them healing. I send them healing energy, but you can't put that on. It's billions of black men in the world. I'm sure, being that African and the DNA is so strong. But American black men, it's like I say, most black men are just trying to go to work. They want a family. They want to do right. They want just to raise their kids. That's the most, and most of them don't have that opportunity, especially young. They a lot of times, I guess, according to what you're saying, because I seen some of those stats. A lot of like younger black men, they don't have like I fall in that category of that percentage of not having kids. And I honestly feel like I guess I got to do more work. I guess I'm not a good enough candidate. You know what I'm saying? Like the guys in the dating pool is hell out here. Like being a
No,
good
well, that's something that I wanted to talk about. There's some more comments that I wanted to get into, but um, I wanted to get because you got really personal about your own journey. You were in a class of sorts, and the other men had families, and you were sort of opining about your own want, your own need to have your family and not having your family, and whether or not it's even worth it to go out there and date. And that's something that I want us to get to. That's on the outline. As long as we have time, we'll get there.
I'm sure. Yeah, I'm down.
Yeah, okay, cool. But I wanted to go through some of this. So I'm obviously very sympathetic to Black women in particular. You mentioned Malcolm X, and one of his most famous quote came through very poignantly about Black women's experience um, in America. Do you feel protective of Black women as a whole?
As a whole, yes, I love black women. Like my mom's black, my sisters are black. I stand beside black women. I can't stand beside all of them though. The ones who just have who are jaded and have it in their heart that black men are just evil, and I can't get beside them because that's that's not what's up. Like I have a conversation with them, but that's
What if you are right? What if you're right and they are hurt?
they are hurt. Yeah, for them to feel
But,
like that,
but
they are
what if
hurt.
you're okay? Imagine you're right. What then?
What are you asking?
If you are right that they are hurt, what then?
They like I said, I have a conversation with them, and I'll try to let them know like there's hope out there, and that your experience with some horrible people doesn't need to mold how you feel about like an entire group of people.
And do you think the idea that there is a bunch of grapes and a bunch of them are also poison, and you can eat a couple and you'll be safe, but one or two of them might be poison? Would you tell that person to go get one of the grapes?
So okay, I see what I see how you put that. See, this is a whole group of people though. I get what you're saying. Like, oh, a couple of those, I will
No,
tell
no. The reason I made it that drastic
them.
is because we're talking about people who have been physically harmed, women who've been awed, unalived, and I think sometimes we minimize your experiences by saying, "Oh, you've been hurt. You were just mad," and so it feels very dismissive, and there is not a true engagement with the pain that is being caused.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. And no, the intention isn't to minimize or dismiss how they feel, because I definitely can understand where they're coming from. If somebody hurt you, you're gonna feel some type of way about that person and who identifies with that person. But I'm
But,
saying having
but
hope.
do you see how a response like, "Oh, you're just hurt," is minimizing what the reality of what is happening?
It it does. I can say it does to a certain extent, but it's a general statement in order to just reply to them. If I was talking to that person directly, I could have a more heartfelt conversation with them and really explain where I'm coming from. But in
Oh, they
general,
wanted to come up. Do you want to talk to them one on one for 2 seconds or no?
I already could imagine how the conversation could go. Like, cause I said, if somebody's, I get it. If somebody's hurt, they're hurt. I get it. I can't make them feel no better when I gotta.
Oh, so when
When
you
I,
said you would talk to them, you don't want to actually talk to them.
no,
You were just joking that I would
no,
talk to them.
I get where you coming
Because
from. I do.
I could let you talk to them for like 5 minutes.
I do get what you. I know. I get what you saying. Look, I've talked to a woman before who said she was raped. Well, raped. My bad. I mean, politically correct for social media, but I, like I said, I just would like to be that hope that for my speaking for myself and speaking for people I know that there are like good black men out there and good men out there, because they all can't be bad. They all aren't bad, and they all can't be good, and they all aren't good. But I'm not trying to
Yeah.
minimize nobody's experience. I'm not trying to do that. Definitely not trying to do that.
Okay, let's go through some of the comments before we get to your personal stuff, and then we'll invite one or two people up to ask a question and then move on.
But I'm definitely not trying to argue with nobody. I'm definitely not trying to do no
Okay,
argument.
yeah.
I'm not trying to argue.
Mhm.
Trying to have a conversation.
Let's go through some of these. So if women are the backbone of the black community, wouldn't it be the best interest that we invest in little girls? Why aren't the black men investing in black boys? Why aren't black men investing in black boys?
See, oh my goodness. See, the black community, black men is like I have these type of conversations with my mother. Like, so if you gotta look at the history of black men and women, but we're talking about black men in America specifically. Like the black man has never properly been able to be the proper leader to his black family in any of, like, it's only been somewhat recently that a black man can have his family, be completely free, and do right by them. And with nothing but hundreds of years of trauma of not even being in control of his own life or be able to be a proper leader of a family. So a lot of it is trauma, seeing not having nothing really laid out for us, and people are learning as they go, and they have made a lot of mistakes. Black people in general, like we've started from a deficit. So the community being how it is not by mistake. It was literally put like that, and a lot of us are trying to put the pieces together, but we're not perfect. And a lot of us, we got lost in the sauce. We had no role models, no guidance. The role models they put in front of us, they killed the freedom fighters and the civil rights leaders, and they gave us rappers and athletes and all kind of just clowns, basically. Like, you could say, and jesters. But yeah, it's, I guess I don't like how it is, but that's, I guess black men need a lot of grace. They do, because I see how modern times, how black men who don't have the right examples, how they turn out, because and they get lost. It's so easy to get lost in this world, and a lot of black men, and they lost.
When you say we need a lot of grace, can you explain some more? Because I don't want it to ever come across as if I'm not trying better to be sympathetic to the, like you said, you are not that black man, right? But other black men, and how do we show up in grace for black men who are struggling?
Like I said, I just brought it back to to when black men and women, like black people, was in bondage. Like we didn't have the right.
Wait,
Yeah,
wait, go ahead, because
I mean, like that don't make sense. Like
no, to take a, if we have to be in bondage for us to cooperate, that's a pro. All right,
no,
maybe I can.
that's not what I said.
Go
I'm
ahead. Go
saying
ahead.
what I said was back, we come from a history as a people of being in bondage, not
Hmm.
being autonomous, doing what we want to do, and being able to properly be leaders and have healthy households and healthy families. And then, so what? Let me see. The Emancipation Proclamation, when they ended everything, bondage. That was, I want to say, like 18, like 69 or 63, and that literally was what, like 150 years ago. So two people ago, that's when we've been completely free. But then you got Jim Crow. You got so much that has just been on the backs of black men to
Yeah,
be.
but I mean, even the Emancipation Proclamation wasn't. It didn't actually free all the slaves, right?
Well, that's what freed the rest of the slaves in the South.
What, this is a little bit more complicated than that, because just the Emancipation, the 14th Amendment, 13th, 14th Amendment is what we are looking at. But the Emancipation Proclamation was like a war strategy that aimed at having people in the
Oh,
Confederate
I'm tripping. I'm thinking of
Confederate
Juneteenth. My
rebel.
bad. I'm thinking of Juneteenth.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of June. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of.
All right. So, what does showing up in grace for black men look like?
Just understanding, just literally just understanding the history of black people as a general in this country, and how we didn't have the guidance needed, like, largely to be proper leaders, and how we're trying to do so much footwork now to reset things.
Do we have to be leaders?
What, black men?
Hmm.
Yeah, I think black men are needed. They're definitely needed.
But we can provide support in ways that does not require, because if all we've been doing is getting hit down and we've not had the opportunity to lead, then what makes us think that leadership is our de facto position when you're saying we've never had it?
Well, we had it. I mean, definitely we had it. You know, in Africa. I mean, but that was in the different times when the world was less civilized. But nah, black men, we have leaders. Like it's so many, they get drowned out by the negative cases. The good ones get drowned out because negativity, it sells. That's what people are attracted to. That's what gets their attention. But black men, they need to be leaders.
I'm asking you, how do you know? How do we know that? Disclosure again. I feel good hearing you say that. However, how do we know that's just not a thing we say that is completely detached from reality?
I got lost in this comment again. All I heard was on reality. My bad.
No, you're fine. I feel good hearing you say black men should be leaders. There's a part of me that's like, yes, we're leaders, we're kings. But then there's another part of me that's overtly like, but what is the evidence of this? What evidence do we have that we as a collective, men, black men, as a collective, should lead?
We should lead just based on just. I mean, I think. I mean, is it bad for me to say I think men should lead their communities? Is that inappropriate to say? I don't.
I mean, I'm not going to say it's inappropriate. I'm going to ask you why.
Just I mean, men protect and they provide and they offer just they it's balance. It's yin and yang. Like
You
it's the
said men protect and they provide, but we were talking about a community where you were saying the women are doing better than the men. So the women are providing for themselves and leading the community. So it, are we failing at the patriarchal bargain? Are we failing at patriarchy?
In the black community? Is that what you're asking me?
Yeah.
Yeah. The all right. So yeah, I can't say. See, I guess I don't know 100%, but from what it seems, from what the media shows and looking around in certain neighborhoods and stuff, a lot of those households are ran by black women. They're ran by women. So I guess you could say matriarchy. And unfortunately, a lot of those households, those women trying to work, provide, and raise girls and boys, and it's unbalanced. I think a lot of those households are unbalanced.
But then why aren't the men in the homes?
The men, it goes. See, it's so like I was saying earlier. When I might have made a video about this before, but when I say women should pick better men, I think I'm not talking about 100% finances. When I say that, if I tell my sister that, my niece that, I'm talking about a better man who will be a good father, is a good person, and will be there for you and your family. And a lot of the men who have kids and create these broken homes, they should have never gained. They should never had access to a woman. A lot of women should never gave them men the time of day, and then it'd be like a good brother right over there who that woman could have invested in and would have treated her right, but maybe he wasn't cool enough or all these other like just weird superficial things, and then they just be left, to be a pappy, and it probably could have been avoided if whatever she was attracted to by that man, she didn't, invest in that man. That's unfortunately that's kind of the start.
Okay,
And
but if you're saying we currently have a matriarchy, men should be leaders, men are
yeah,
providers and protectors. Where is that evident in our community? Like, where are you getting this notion from? Are you Christian?
I am.
Is that where it comes from?
What?
Like male leadership, men leading. Like, we're fundamentally, from your perspective, where does the idea that men should lead come from?
Just primarily, I mean, that's how society is just ran for the most part. Historically, currently, that's just how it's. I mean, the heavy lifting. I mean, men do the heavy lifting. So,
What does
it,
that mean?
like, heavy lifting, more so from a sense of just like the. Well, I'm mainly when I say that, I'm mainly talking about like building wise, like society, like taming the world wise, as far as making society, livable, and all these modern conveniences and all the that was a lot of heavy
Are you
lifting.
talking about like physically lifting things like
Yeah,
men
like
are physically
physical,
bigger?
yeah, just being physical.
Yeah, but does being physically bigger means you are the leader?
I think it gives you the tools to be. It gives you the tools to be.
Wait, what are the tools to be leadership in your mind?
Like I'm saying, like if you can protect somebody and whatnot and
Yeah,
build
but like
things.
the bodyguard is not the leader in the situation where you hire a bodyguard, right? And they're supposed to be bigger and be able to move things around and better able to protect you. But because you hire a bodyguard doesn't mean you're a leader. Because you have soldiers and you are the commander in chief doesn't mean you're physically better. Actually, well, let me not get into politics, but like there is, it doesn't seem that there is a correlation between our causal connection between one's physical body being strong and their capacity to lead.
I get what you're saying with the bodyguard example or whatever. I get what you mean by that, but like why I feel like men should be leaders. That's the main question.
Mhm.
Like I just look around. I mean, that's just how that's just how it is. I mean, that's how it's always been. I'm pretty sure there's been some matriarchal societies out there, but
Okay,
uh,
but so your argument is first, so you don't think being physically bigger makes you a leader, right?
I think it gives you the tools to be
What
a
are
leader.
those tools?
It allows you to just pretty much like if I'm the person who went out there and I'm talking from like a more primitive. No, I'm speaking more primitive because that's how I'm speaking about this. If I went out there and and hunted for something, you know, and I bring it home and I want the woman to prepare it,
Yeah,
then
but you're doing that in connection with a woman. We can send hunters out and they bring the food in and someone else divide it up. The the people who are doing the meat, the people who can understand the politics of how to share meat, would sort of do the dividing, right, with an agreement with the hunter, right? The butcher, for example. So, like, it doesn't feel like you've made the connection between physical strength and leadership.
well, I get what you're saying. Somebody who's stronger, that doesn't just make them a leader.
Yeah.
It takes, it takes them actually doing what they need to do, like action wise, and showing up. I get I get what you're saying.
Okay, then, so what makes, and so we agree then that being physically stronger does not make you a leader. The second issue you brought up is that's how things have done. Because things are happening and we've done things one way, does that mean it is the right way or it is the only way and it's the best way?
No, that doesn't. No, it doesn't make it. Nah, because Like I
Okay,
said, black
so
people in bondage
the
at one point.
sorry, I
So
didn't mean to cut you off. I
are
apologize.
you good?
So, with all of that said, we get back to the first question of what makes men leader. What makes a man the leader?
A man being like able to show up and mainly protecting and providing. Those like the main traditional aspects of being like a man being a leader, protecting and providing provision, and
All
just
right,
being
so we're back at patriarchy then. And in the absence of the ability to provide and protect, you are no longer a leader.
If a man can't protect and provide, does that make him a leader? Is
Does
he
that
still
make him
considered a leader?
disqualified? Does that disqualify him from leadership?
Let me see. Does that disqualify him? I think if he's trying towards those things, he's still in the game.
If he can't provide and protect?
I think if he's trying to get to that point,
Wait, then leadership is anything that the man can and cannot do that. Like it doesn't, if you define leadership as providing and protecting, because we say it's not because it's like what we've known, it's not because you're bigger, it's because you can provide and protect. But if you can't do it, you're still a leader. That feels like the definition is useless then.
I mean, you're not necessarily
Wait,
a
pause,
leader.
pause, 1 second. Please stop. No disrespect in the comment, please. Let's try as we might. I do want to talk to more men on here like I used to. I stopped last year. Um, but I'm going to, but I don't want I want to because he and I disagree here, but I want to understand how he's defining leadership. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, like I said, I do get where you're coming from. Like, but yeah, like I'm just yes, I am going off of just how things are and how I've seen things be. I guess you could say when men are around and also women. I feel like when a man, is doing what he's supposed to do, yeah, and a woman is there as well, then yeah, that's good. Like it's balance. I think that balances a society.
Got it. So provider and protector doesn't make you the leader, or does it?
Those are traits of a leader. But yeah, if a man, so I need, can we put it as an example? Can we like
Go
put
ahead.
this on a person, I guess?
Hmm. Go ahead.
Like if a person, like if I got a homeboy who baby mama, I guess, paying all the bills and he's just laying around on the couch, not doing nothing. No, he's not leading that household. No, he's not a leader. Like she's leading. If she's all got all that on her back, yeah, she's leading. Yeah.
So in the example, you told us what makes him not a leader. What would make him what makes a like can you define leadership where if you don't have these things, you're not a leader?
If you don't have these things, you're not a leader.
Yeah. So define leadership in such a way that the absence of these characteristics would make you not a leader.
Well, I think it's a misunderstanding somewhere. I don't think every man should be a leader, and
Okay.
every man can be a leader. No, I don't think. Yeah, so let's clear that up.
All right. Good. We are on one accord then. Not
Yeah,
every
there we go.
man can be a leader.
Yeah.
All right.
No, indeed.
What makes a man a leader?
When a man is a leader when he can be a provider and not necessarily not. I don't think being a provider is 100% finances. Not because there are a lot of women out here who are killing it. They making money, and I don't think a man's value should be just simply determined off of a dollar sign or a dollar amount. But he
Hmm.
can still provide in other ways that don't revolve like that don't involve just just the money to like a luxury like point of view, because that's what a lot of it is about. It's a lot of people who say, "Oh, a man needs to make all this money." It's a lot of them be wanting all kind of lavish lifestyles, and if you into that, cool. But don't say every man is less than, because every man might not want that like all of that. Every woman might not want all of that.
So a man can be a leader if he provides, but providing does not just mean financially.
Yeah, there's other ways to provide.
Like,
Providing, like I said, protection, like just being there to protect. And you like, so I don't, so what hell is like, I need really to be able to break these scenarios down to to explain them better, because generally speaking, it doesn't, it sounds wild when things aren't being specifically discussed. And I understand how things can sound wild, but like I need a more better example of what you mean.
so if I say to be a leader means that you have to provide and protect, right? That means you have to, this is not my definition, but you have to protect the person you're leading from all negative impact or from being attacked, right? And also, you have to provide resources to that person. If you cannot do these things, you are either not a leader or no longer a leader, right? The absence of the characteristics that makes the thing means the thing is no longer the thing. So a leader cannot be a leader without the characteristics that make them a leader. And so when I'm asking you, like, if a man, by virtue of being man, is a leader, and you say no, some men aren't leaders, we're in agreement fully. Like, we're
Yeah.
fully in agreement there. The problem, though, is I now need to know what your definition of leadership is and why these men are leaders. And like, what makes a man a leader?
Like I say, that I gave you like my quick, just I really would like to if I could give you a really great explanation on it, but that's just like my just generic, of what it is. That's like the generic.
I'm worried a little bit, not about you, but generally that the idea of male leadership is so matter of fact that it's not critically analyzed at all. And so we're telling young boys and people generally that the expectation is that they become leaders. And with this amorphous leadership, there is not a way to ground it meaningfully. And instead of saying, well, maybe you're not a leader, and that's fine, and you don't have to be the leader in your relationship, we're saying you have to without any kind of barometer for what leadership is.
Like there are. I promise you that there. Look, I haven't given this a lot of thought. This
No,
leadership
that's the problem.
thing.
Not you, but I think that's ultimately the problem. Like, they're like male leadership, patriarchy, and there is no explanation of what it is as a general matter. It's just because you're a man, you can lead. That's the takeaway, and that's very, like, I think that is dangerous. There are men who should not lead anything. They should not be even leading their own lives, right? And there are women who are like great leaders. And because we create these boxes for men and women, I think we miss out on like a lot of life. But that's like a personal thing for me. So I apologize for pushing too much on that. Themis,
I can agree with that. I've had like women managers at jobs when I was like who've been better than male managers. I've had that before. There's definitely some great women out there who can lead. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Themis, I appreciate your analytics depth, and I'll keep it cute, respect, counselor. Oh, thank you all. I appreciate. Let's run through some of these super chat, because I actually do fundamentally want to get to your personal life. And if at any point you're like, I have to go, just let me know. We're kind of free balling it, kind of. I
I
don't
got you.
I don't know if that's the phrase, but also not American. Ask him if he is fighting the bad narrative on black women. Do you push back against bad narrative on black women?
Which narratives are we talking about? Like Sexy Red, that type of stuff?
Yeah, like if someone else is like black women are loud, do you say, well, no, it's not all black women? Do you engage with it?
It's not. It's not all black. All black women aren't loud and angry and all of those
Yeah.
stereotypes.
Right. Does having look, my bad. I did not. My bad. I am so sorry. They're in the chat clowning me. I apologize. My idioms are trash. Does having character flaws make you a bad person? I don't think so. I think you can have character flaws without being a bad person, depending on what those are, though. It depends.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was saying earlier. Like I'm there's some that's funny, but there's that comment right there. But there's some I think some men can be some men. Some men can be a good father, and they might have cheated. They still so that's kind of answering to that.
No. So you and I differ there. I don't think you can be a good father if you cheated. I do not. I don't. I don't think you can. Do you want to discuss that? I heard you before, and I wasn't gonna go on it because it's not on the outline. But
Right.
I don't think you can be a good father if you cheated.
Like, don't get me wrong. I don't approve of the cheating. I don't approve of it at all. But I do think there are men out there who are good examples to their kids in the daytime, but they got some issues where they at nighttime they might be, you know.
You don't believe this. Please don't. So you're a good example for your kid, but you cheat. Is cheating a good example for your child?
No, I'm talking about like I'm not saying like no disrespectful, just being just
Is there a way to cheat that's not disrespectful?
like I'm saying like disrespectful, just out, just willy nilly, don't care, just in the family's face, that type of no, that's out of pocket. Couldn't. But if a man just messed around and did something one time and he got a family, I don't think that just cancels him out and just makes him just a monster. I don't think that just makes him a monster, and that he might have been a great father for 12 years or 15 years, and year 15 of him being a father, he did something like that, and I don't think the kids should just disregard all the good teachings that the dad showed them.
Yeah, well, disregarding him is one thing. I don't think you should. But I think breaking the trust of a family is really bad. And for me, cheating is abuse. Do you think cheating is abuse?
It's yeah, I feel like it's a form of emotional abuse.
And so, like, you were saying some form of emotional abuse is like I'm you can be a good person while emotionally abusing your spouse and breaking the trust of your family. That's how I think about it. Like I don't think about it in like this weird isolation where you did it, no one found out, or your wife found out, they stick together and it doesn't go further. I feel like there is a lot of dominoes that fall after you cheated.
It's a lot of nuance to it. It definitely is. But like I said, I just don't want to write somebody off as a monster and a horrible person because they they messed up. They made a mistake. I do think sometimes you can make mistakes.
Yeah, but you don't have to write them off and they don't have to be a horrible demonic person. But I wouldn't go out advocating that they're a good parent or good spouse when they cheat.
I also wouldn't want to say, "Oh, I had somebody." You get older, you're in your 30s or something, and like somebody asks you about your parent, about your dad, I guess. Like, oh, my dad, my dad showed me this and that, great morals, character, whatever, provided. took care of me, everything great, just dandy. But he's a horrible person because he cheated on my mom one time. And
Oh, if he did cheat on my mom one time, oh, he getting dragged. Love my dad to death, Daddy. I love you. Appreciate all you did. If I ever find out you cheated on my mom, it's over. I'ma drag you to hell and back.
that's a bit extreme.
Oh, I will. Oh, that's not a joke. That's not a joke. Similarly to my mom, if I found out my mom cheated, it's over.
I mean, they're just people. They're not perfect.
No,
People,
that's what I don't understand. You don't have to be perfect to not cheat. Cheating requires a lot, like a lot of investment and time and manipulation and lying and conniving. Like cheating doesn't just happen.
could a man just go out to like a restaurant and sit at the bar and the bartender hit on him, and he'd had a couple of drinks in his system, and they messed around and
Yeah, well, that would be essay if he is drunk.
I'm talking about, all right, well, let's say he just had a couple ginger ales, and for whatever reason, and this is the first time in 15 years, I don't think you should write that man off after that.
Wait, what happened for the first time? So
I'm saying,
someone has to flirt with you. You have to flirt back. Y'all have to make a decision. Y'all then have to go to the place. Y'all have to strip. Then there's not like there are very specific steps leading towards this.
I get what you're
That
saying.
if you're drunk, I'm like, oh, essay. But if you're not drunk, you're making intentional decisions to breach your vows.
I get what you say. Yeah, it's not just A to B with cheating. Yeah, you do have to talk, make arrangements, take the clothes. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's deception. That kind, and for the person who finds out that their partner cheated, they can go to PTSD. Like you could ruin someone's psychology by cheating on them. Yeah, no, you're not a good person. And the fact that you don't know if that's going to happen before you do it and you do it means that you're a terrible person in my book. Like from my perspective, cheaters are trash. Like I don't abide.
Yeah, like I said, I don't approve of it. I don't condone cheating, but I also don't want to just write off a person and just throw them away if they did something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we have different standards. What do black men bring again? I've been asking this. Hopefully, he explain what good black men bring to anyone.
Good black men bring. We got another one.
Wait, no. What? I thought you were answering.
Oh, like I feel like a lot of this stuff is just like self-explanatory. We like so to try to like verbalize it is just kind of like it's like saying explain what color the sky is, and it's just like we know it's blue, and it was like, oh, give me like a really big definition and give me a monologue on the sky being blue. Like,
Do you think that would be useless?
what?
Why? Like, if someone is like, "Why is the sky blue?"
I mean, not why, because that's like a lot of science behind that, but just saying, explain the sky. Just tell me what color the sky is, and it's like we all know it's blue without a doubt. And just for somebody to ask you that, you will kind of be like, "Huh? What are you even asking me right now?" And that's how I feel about that question.
Got it. No.
But I can explain it. I can let me try to explain this because to me it's just given. I think it's common sense what a good man is, blue, black, or purple, or green. But just somebody who's dependable, loyal, ambitious, faithful. You know, faithful. Like I say, if somebody cut hair one time, that doesn't make them a barber. So that's how I look at with the cheating thing. If somebody was faithful for 15 years and they just messed up, and they
Wait, we're
stopped that.
back to cheating. Wait,
I'm
wait,
just,
are you going to defend this cheating? I feel like you're going to defend this cheating,
I'm not
Bill.
trying to I'm just saying like good person because she said good, and I don't want to call somebody a bad person because they made a mistake. I don't just want to say they're bad because they made a
Okay,
mistake.
yeah. I don't know that I would say you're a bad person because you did something bad. I no, I would not call you. I think character is repeated action over time, but I do think it's bad enough for me to reject you from my life completely as a
Yeah,
friend.
I feel that. I feel that, and I. So what?
So let
I
me get this straight. He
got so
thinks
many
women
questions.
should accept a man who's broke, lies, and cheat under the guise of love. Um, do you, when you hear women say they don't want broke men, what comes to mind?
See, the problem is what they're calling broke. That's my issue. What they're calling broke.
A man who doesn't have any job. Let's call it that. Doesn't have
A man without a
income.
yeah, a man that's a scrub. Scrub, yeah. I don't support scrubs. No.
What all right. So you are not you are not rejecting the idea that women should date men who can provide financially something.
I don't reject that women should date men who can provide something
That
financially.
you don't reject the idea that women are positing that you need to bring finances. You
I
just disagree on the level of finance
yeah,
requirement.
it's the level that I have an issue with because a brother out here, I see him on the internet down talking men like this whole 100K, this 100K six figure,
That felt like a Kevin Samuels thing.
like that whole notion has just been brain rot the last like 5 years on social media, and that's all you see nowadays is that's like the bar. That's a lot of women. That's the bare minimum now. They're like, oh, he gotta make six figures. He gotta be at that
But that's not
100,000
true
mark.
though. Like
It's
I agree with you. I let me say I agree with you on this. I think a lot of women are saying a lot of things online. Because the stat shows that a lot of women and men, the median income is less than $60,000,
yes,
and men and women are dating with less than $60,000.
yes,
So, like, women are talking online. I don't think it's representative at all of women and men and their engagement.
yeah. Broke people are coming together. Not about broke. I just mean people, not
I
making.
mean, you said it. You said broke. You got them broke.
I'm like broke. See, when I say broke, I just mean like people who ain't got much money. They they out here finding love. It seems like they find love better than people who got money.
So, what prevents him from being a stepfather to children of the woman he loved? Well, he said more than one was the issue. Why are black men feeling so hard in a system that gives men
Um,
advantages for being men? Do you believe that the system gives men advantages for being
I
men?
I actually have been thinking about this. I see this comment on the internet sometimes. I don't like seeing this comment, especially like about black men, because you this whole patriarchy buzzword that's been trending the last like 2 or 3 years. I've been seeing like, all right, black men didn't make patriarchy. I'm speaking to this person right directly. We did not create this system. Black men did not create this system in America.
Wait. This is you're gonna be. By the way, you are. Don't yell at me. I'm not yelling at you, but you might be annoyed at me with this.
I'm
I thought
listening.
you just said men built the system. Men do the heavy lifting.
I'm talking
Like
about in
men
America.
created the system.
I'm saying in America. I just said in America. Black men didn't create this system in America.
Okay, wait, but then that brings out a very specific question
Yeah,
about which men should lead.
let's talk about it.
We, you said men have always been leading if you look around, except in the black community in
Well,
America.
in in Africa, black men, led and whatnot, and other, black man is the original man. I mean, technically everywhere black man led, and for the most part, but that's what I'm getting at. But I'm saying specifically in America, black men have only been free just as long as black women have been free in America. So the system has been against us for so long that
There is a very trash response that I'm not going to make about leadership if we have been enslaved. I'm not going to do it because I feel like that's red meat for a bunch of people who just want to be disrespectful to black people. So I will not respond with it. Instead, I'm just going to move on in my head. You can finish. I'm just going to move on mentally.
I'm just being real. Like I understand black men are behind in a lot of ways, but they playing catch up too. Like we was put in this country having to figure stuff out, and like I know I didn't make this. If it was up to me, the system wouldn't be how it is. But this is what we was. Look, like
What would you
Tupac
make
say,
the system into? If you could, how would you make the system?
look, Tupac said his best. I was given this world. I didn't make it. Like this is the life we were given as a people. So if I could make it a better way, people would just honor each other, respect their neighbors. They'll be kind, courteous. They would be helpful to each other. They'll be just great human beings. They'll have humanity would be the first priority. The schools would teach humanity. And this doesn't have anything to do with religion, but just being just good people, just having, like I say, just having humanity.
Black men never tell the truth about their brethren. I don't believe that. I try to speak truth. They love dusty double talk babble, but they're never honest in discourse, which is why no one respects them. That's sad. Don't say that. Black men ask black women to struggle, but they work hard for their preferences. Do you want to respond?
Like, I just want my sisters out here to just stop giving the dudes in the community who ain't no good for you. Like stop giving them love and attention. Like we can get away from that and give the guys a chance who have a lot of great traits. Like that'll help get us out of this deficit. If those men, have that support, that emotional labor and all of that whatnot, supporting them, and that'll help build strong families and a better community. Because the dudes who just gonna, sleep with you and leave, those are the dudes that's making the community look bad. Those are dudes who just making kids, and then the kid gotta not have a dad around, and the streets gotta raise that child. Then the child end up in the system. Like it's a domino effect of a lot of things.
Do you have an issue with misogyny online?
Misogyny, I don't think anybody should hate anyone. I don't think men should hate women. I don't think women should hate men. But I have a problem. I guess I have a problem with misogyny. I'm not sitting here saying men are inherently better than women. That's not what I'm saying, because that's a wild statement, and it's definitely, problematic. But like I said, I just feel like, I do think men, once men get to a certain point, they should step up and be leaders once they get to a certain point. And if they don't get to that certain point, then no, that man specifically shouldn't be a leader.
All right, before we continue, I want to jump because there's a bunch more. Let's do one more. And now, Themis, it's Monday. Hello, Chad. Hey, wake up, makeup. I actually need to talk to you. She's one of the moderator. We are talking about men who are alive. Black men are not leaders. They don't provide structure, and they're very chaotic. He's delusional. Wait, no. Again, let's go back to being nice to everyone. But I wanted to go to the relationship bit because I don't want us to not get to this. Your personal, and are you still dating, by the way?
I mean, I try to date.
Because there's a lot of women around, so we'll see. Let's get to your personal dating preferences here.
Look, relationships nowadays are nothing but a big drawn out game of who can use who first, who
Oh my
can
goodness.
manipulate each other more, and who was going to eventually mentally check out the shit and then physically check out the shit first. That's all relationships are 2025. Because it's just no point. Each person knows what the other person is capable of. So nobody's like serious for real. No, everybody has their guard up. It's like I said, just honestly just a big waste of time. It's just a big old game. Now, when kids get involved, the game changes. The rules change because now you actually have more connected. But if it's a relationship,
That's funny.
Wait, before you go, before you speak on this, I wanted
Yeah.
to do a bunch in a row. You have one called dating fatigue that I thought
yo,
you
dating fatigue is so real. Not heartbreak, not rejection, just fatigue. Like, people are just tired of the constant talking stages. They're tired of getting attached to people. It's just become overwhelming. People are just tired. Get to know somebody, go on dates, text, talk for a while on the phone, and you just say to yourself, this feels familiar. And but it's familiar in a way of a feeling of disappointment. And people are just tired of it. Like the way people on their DMs, apps, they're just shopping for new people. And you get tired of just being in the grocery market. You get tired of it. Oh yeah, it's not that people stop believing in love. They just got tired of the disappointment. So yeah, dating isn't hard. It's the disappointment that wears you out.
Okay.
Like, I'm out of state right now for a job opportunity, and like in my training class, it's like 10 of us. Like, all the other guys is all men. All the other guys, like, they have kids. And I'm just like that only. I'm just that one single guy in there, like no wife, no kids, and it's just like,
Yeah.
damn, man. And I literally want that life. Like, I've been told my whole life since I was a child that I would make a great father one day. But fatherhood has never found me, and it's something I've tried to be intentional about. Just it takes two, and I can't do it alone. So that shit is crazy, dog. Like, and I feel like a lot of dudes who are fathers, they'll be like they don't want to be dads. And it's like some of the guys that want to be dads, that's just the life doesn't find them. Yeah, I guess I'm making this video, I'm a little insecure about it. It's like, damn, man. Like, I'm just that one person out the group.
That's
That
hilarious.
was one of my favorite videos of yours, this one, um, because of how vulnerable it felt.
Yeah, I was vulnerable.
What what do you think is the issue for you?
For me,
Yeah, in dating.
like, oh my goodness. So it's normally like let me see. So I don't know. Like a lot of women, they haven't met a guy like me as far as just I don't know my traits. Like I carry myself a certain way, and they don't be used to it. Like they just don't be used to it, and insecurity makes them, I guess, just not continue through with the relationship or whatever.
All right. But so you think that you're just, I'm rephrasing, you're too good and women don't know how to handle someone who is good.
I've actually been told by a lot of women like you deserve better, and you know things along those lines and that nature. I've been told that by a lot of women.
And that's them, their way to reject you is to say you deserve more than them.
I guess so.
And you believe them. I'm not saying you don't. I'm just saying it feels odd to be like, you are just so great. Good luck. And I'm a go. It feels like how I would reject someone, right? Like I would not want it to see, like sorry, I'm putting too much out there on you. When I asked the question initially, I was trying to figure out what you think the issue is with you. And your issue, you said, is that you are too good.
I mean, I ain't gonna say I'm too good, but I just feel like women they're used to. Then this the other like I've mainly dated women like you know in their 20s. I mean, I'm in my 20s, but a lot of women in their 20s they don't really run across a lot of mature guys in their 20s who like have emotional intelligence, respectful. you know, just do just treat them well, and they used a lot of them used to chaos, and I'm not really like a chaotic type of guy. Like I'm chill. Like I'm like just a chill dude. I don't do all that extra. Like I'm not gonna disrespect nobody when I'm angry. I don't allow things to even get me to that point.
So you're saying that I'm finding this very difficult to understand. With all the women in America,
I'm listening.
none of them you haven't gotten a woman because they're used to chaos. So you cannot find a woman that is not entrenched in chaos.
I mean, I haven't dated every woman, but the ones that I have like tried to date or have dated, like the last relationship I was in, the girl told me like the guy before her cheated on her, was disrespectful. He even put his hands on her. I was the total opposite of that, and she still told me I deserved better. So
When she was leaving,
yeah.
you're not do you believe them? Do you believe these statements?
I mean, like for the most part, yeah. Like I mean, if I'm showing you like how a man, treats a woman, and you like the last girl she told me, she said she was like, I haven't, you're the first guy to show me how, I'm supposed to be treated by a man, because she said she never had that before,
Hmm.
and all that says is to me like a lot of those women are they're what it is emotionally unavailable, and they're immature.
All right.
Honestly,
And you don't think you have things to work on yourself?
I'm not perfect. I probably could work on a lot of things. I'm sure I can
Okay,
work on some things.
but the issue why you are not with anyone and starting your family is because the women are immature.
I mean, no, I'm not gonna say. I also don't like. I'm not out there like. I go to work. I go to work. I go home. You know what I'm saying? I go to the gym. I go to the market. I'm not really just out there just crazily trying to find somebody, because I feel like all the good women in the house, the good men in the house, the good women in the house. Like I don't want club girls really. I've dealt with them. I don't really align with them, and probably compatibility. I feel like a lot of women I got involved with probably just weren't compatible enough as well.
What does compatibility looks like for you? What do you think is most compatible to you in terms of women? And I see some women in the chat are like raising their hands to be dating. They're into you, so this could be it.
I mean, they say that. Then like this, like women. Don't get me wrong. Do not get me wrong. I've never had a hard time, getting women's attention. But I understand it's like so. Oh my goodness. All right, like I don't like the notion of women wanting to be like liking me, or them liking me just because I'm tall, or they think I'm handsome, or what I can do for them. Like, because I feel like I'm more than all those superficial things. I feel like I'm an intelligent person. I'm well spoken. I'm thoughtful. Just and all those things that aren't surface level. And I feel like a lot of those things get overlooked. And it's like, oh, just like a female gaze or something. And it's like that's literally like not who I am. That's just my outside appearance. But and I know that's you don't really hear a lot of men saying that, but yeah, I want somebody to because like you physical attraction, it fades. Eventually all that fades, and then you're left with who that person is. And that's not I feel like valued as much. And that's the disconnect.
Got it. It I don't think I've ever met someone who is so perfect that like their negative is their positive, right? So like the tall, handsome, educated, well-spoken becomes a turnoff for women. I've never met that. So the fact that I am like you're the first that I've ever met. And so that's interesting. Interesting because that's how you see yourself. And I'm assuming that's how some of the women in the chat see you. Which would typically make it easy for you to find someone. So I do find it like odd that you want a relationship and you want a family, but you don't have it. Um, I just wanted to give you the space to talk about that. Um, you did an experiment that I found fascinating where you changed your race on an application to white and you got a interview. What
Yeah.
did you learn from that? How did you engage with that? What are your takeaways from it?
Like I said, that's something like that. Like that's not. I don't think that's typical. I don't think people. I'm very like just. I do. I just do those type of things. Like it's just not. But yeah, I did that, and like that's just off the wall. I literally told myself like I'm like a lot of stuff I say and do. I'm like I'm wilding. Like the stuff I'm out here doing. Like I'm just mad wild for this stuff. But yeah, I did that. I put my race as like white or something, and I got like multiple calls back, and it worked because I was on like a spree of like getting no calls back, and I'm like, man, let me just own this job. Let me put white, and I got multiple calls back, and I'm like, damn. Well, we might have cracked the code, folks. We might have found the new meta. You gotta show up to the
But then
interview.
you would have to show up if you put white and then you show up and you're not white. What happens?
A lot of people in the comments was saying, you know what, show up, and if they don't give you the job, you potentially. This was so funny about that. I didn't even go to that job interview. I didn't even go. I didn't go. I didn't even go. But you know, it was just like funny. That honestly
Yeah,
was like a funny
yeah.
video more than anything.
I thought it was funny. You had this video also about like DL men who keep all the baddies.
Oh yeah, I explained that video thoroughly.
So what's that? What's the download man doing with the baddies?
Like I explained in that video, like I know a dude and a girl. Like this dude, like hyper aggressive, just that typical, just hyper aggressive, brother. And he had like a really fine girlfriend that all the guys would want, to date. And she not the plot. And she and I ended up finding out that he was down low. Well, this dude tried to say he wasn't down low because he was involved with dudes on the low. But like I said, the video explain. I ain't trying to say too much, but yeah, and it's a lot of dudes out there like that. A girl I was seeing um like last year, she said she knew like a couple guys that she was friends with who literally told her that them like getting intimate services from men wasn't, I guess, down low. And I just think that's wild that these dudes will have girls held up knowing like, bro, like what why is you living like that when that girl could be with somebody who, because she wants, a man who's, heterosexual, I guess, and who's not dibbling dabbling in anything else. And they just be holding them girls up. I feel like, you know.
You're not anti-LGBT, right?
No, I don't have a problem with like any of that. We're all just
What do
people.
we? Oh, go ahead.
I'm just saying we're all people. Yeah, we're all people.
What do we need black men? What do we need black men for if black men can't even lead because of what they've allowed other men to do to them and black women hundreds of years ago.
Um,
What do you do? I think this question is getting to the issue. What do you do with the resentment building for the fact that black men are saying we are leaders, but we were subjugated and our quote unquote, our women were also subjugated?
just we need to have grace for each other and just make better decisions for the kids and just be more intentional as far as trying to build like healthy like families and make a better community for the future. All we can do is invest in the kids. That's the future. So that's literally it. That's it.
Cite the source, Miss. No, Court. I thought you said you were gonna be better. We let them men just spout phantom data in black women single mothers. Yeah,
Dang, why she being so what I do to her? What I said?
I don't remember. Thank you, Court. All the excuses grace in the world for men, huh?
I mean, I feel like I said each other. I really feel like I said grace for each other.
Why is the rhetoric always directed at black women and how we need to move past it? Black men never turn to each other and say, black women need grace.
I just said each other. I literally said black. I said we need grace for each other. Like both need grace. We are black men and women. We're in this. We're in this race. Like race is not just called race for any reason. It's a social economical race that we're in, whether we want to acknowledge it or not. And we in this race. We're behind. We're in a deficit. We started from way back here, and these other individuals who have all the pieces on the playing board, they started right here. We're back here, and we need to be kind to each other. Ain't none of us better than each other. We need to come together more than anything. I'm not denying black women's struggle. I don't get why they trying to make it seem like I'm.
Your virgin said we don't come from Africa. Yes, we were leaders. We were kings. We were kings and queens. Are white women better equipped to understand the history and provide black men with snow bunny grace?
What is that supposed to mean?
I don't know. Have you heard about the passport bros?
I've heard about that on that whole movement. I've heard about that.
Would you do that?
What, like go out of the country to like find a wife? I guess. I see the content. I see dudes who feel like I would much rather black men and women date each other here and be kind to each other, and respect each other here, and not have to go out to another country and and get a wife. I would much rather that.
But you would if like worst case scenario.
Would I go out the country? If I did something like that, I go like to Ghana and get an African queen or something, or go like to just something like that.
Why you don't date interracially?
Like, do I? I mean, I don't have no problem with interracial like dating, but I would prefer to like date a black woman who understands me, and we can have like real conversations about our past and our future as a people.
Why do we need the same black men who allowed a book of food stamp to replace them and remove them from their homes that they haven't gotten back into? Now, why would you make this comment?
Like Cynthia, I get where she coming from. Like she's saying a lot of stuff. Like I'm telling you, like black men. See the problem. One of the problems in the black community with black men is education, and we are not taught to. I think this is black people in general, but especially the men. We not honestly people in general, because the whole country is at a decline with education. But education, and I'm not talking about like, you're necessarily just European centralized education, but just a lot of black boys, they're not educated to where they can understand a lot of things. So they out here wilding. They crashing out. But a lot of the educated brothers, they trying to do right. They want to build family, build wealth, and do right. They just get drowned out by the foolishness. Like, uh, but they also it's a lot of brothers out there who do make good brothers look bad. I never like say, yes, they're out there. They're horrible. They need to do better.
Let's
Yes,
go quickly. There are so many. Let's try to go through some quickly. To him, absent fathers are never a man's fault.
no. It's a lot of dudes out here who are leaving women to be pappies. They got issues.
They the way to lead, they wait to lead till you talk money. They want, I think it's want. They want to lead until you talk money. She's saying that you can't be a leader without finances.
Like I say, if a woman making $125,000 because she's like a nurse practitioner, and her husband, working in a chemical plant, and he making $105,000, she's out earning him. But I don't think she should respect him any less. Like, they're both contributing to the household. I'm certain. Like, I don't think he's any less of a man because he makes less than her. Like, it's not all about the money. Like,
Can you lead? Should you be leading if you don't make the money?
well, that house, that's not a broke household. That's almost a $250,000 household. They're not in
But
poverty.
who makes the decision in that household?
Who makes the decisions?
Yeah, like if you are the man without the money and the woman is making the money and providing, like this is why the concept of leadership is annoying to me. But like, who is leading?
Like, it's so like I say, so like these conversations, so much nuance with these type of conversations. But like, I think that man is still the head of household, even though he doesn't make as much as her. Because like I say, I don't think a man has to
You
make.
know, head of household is like a tax designation, right?
I'm talking about from like a respect type of standpoint. When I say that, like, respect, like, she's not emasculating him because she earns.
So, wait, he doesn't feel emasculated if he can provide
See, what do you mean by provide? Like,
financially bringing money into the household where if the woman loses her job, he can take care of it.
I mean, the average American doesn't have $400 for an emergency. So I don't.
But you're talking about someone's ego. And feeling like the man, but like if you're feeling like the man and you can't do that which the man is supposed to, quote unquote, supposed to do, then that feels odd to also want to still be like the man. Like it feels more in name than substance.
Well, I know of men who been in. All right, so a man, like I said, so much nuance. A man can be the provider, do well, be a business owner, take care of the family, be 100% provider for 10 years in a row, making good money. And for some reason, and this happens all day, every day, his business takes a decline, takes a hit, might get sued, and he might lose that money that he had coming in. And a lot of women stay beside that man's side through that rough patch, those hardships. But a lot of women be like, "Oh, I gotta go. You can't provide no more financially. See ya. I'm jumping ship. I'm on to the next. Screw our vows." And I've seen men get done like that. And to me,
is that wrong?
It's like, put it like, that's why I say about labels. It's like, is it wrong? It depends on who you asking. But to me, if I was that man and I provided for this woman in this household all these years, and life happens and I lose what I had, and within a year or two that woman leaves me because I'm trying to put the pieces back together, I would feel like damn, all I was a dollar sign to you. That's all I was. That's how I feel.
Okay, so you would feel bad, but you understand that it's her agency and her right to like leave whenever she wants.
Yeah, she got free will. She can leave, but that's wild. Cause like, dang, that's wild.
I mean, so if men are telling women that they are the leaders and they should provide and protect, and then they can't provide or protect, then the woman should leave to go find a leader. If women need leaders and should be dating leaders, and you can't do what a leader does, mind you, I completely disagree with this idea that men are leaders. But then they go find a man who can lead.
I think that's wild. Like, I think that's wild.
Wait, why?
Like, I feel like it's disloyal.
Why would you stay loyal to someone who can't do the thing that they said they're supposed to do?
Like, life happens. Like, a person, like, that's where grace comes in. That's where love is supposed to kick in, and especially like, why is it? No, I'm being for real. Like, why is it such a problem if the man did everything all these years and now he needs some help? What happened to the partnership? Like, what?
When you structure a relationship around a leader and your ego, you don't get to say loyalty because there's no loyalty. You find a beautiful woman by your side and you say you're the leader and you provide and you protect. And when you can't provide and protect, they should leave because you've created a paradigm that's not feasible. At some point, you might need help, but that's not why you were there. That's not why she's there. But if you restructure it where you are not the leader and there's no leader, we negotiate, we're partners, then I can be upset with a woman who gets up and leaves because you lost your job, or a man who leave because she lost her job, because you're supposed to be doing it together. But
Okay,
like,
so well,
sorry, go
all
ahead.
right, all right, so we getting, all right. I'm not trying to get lost on the word leader because to me personally, I prefer a partnership with, I prefer, if my ideal relationship would be like, yes, we're in a partnership, but I'm, I would, a man wants respect. I don't know how to. It's almost innate in a certain way. Like, look, a man just want respect. Even though his girl, I know relationships with a woman makes more money than the
Do
man.
women not want respect?
Yeah, yes, the man respect her too. That's, yeah.
Okay, then why do we say men want respect as if that's not a given for both men and women? Everyone in the relationship wants respect.
I'm saying when it's money involved in a man wants to be respected even if the woman does make more than him.
Yeah, I think if you're dating someone, you should respect them. I would agree with you. You should not be with a man that you can't respect. And because you make more money than a man does not mean you should not respect him. If you don't respect someone, you shouldn't be in a relationship with them. That said, if you believe that you are a leader or you're above the woman in any way because of your money, as soon as you don't have that money, then whoops, check
Well,
please.
like I say, I'm not hung up on the leadership and all of that. Because if I'm with a woman and let's say we both start off together making a certain amount, then careers go up and she end up making more than me, I'm I don't necessarily like feel like she's better than me because she makes more, and I'm not better than her because I make more. It's just about respecting each other, and that's what that's about. That's what
Yeah,
that's
but
about.
I wish we were, I wish we talk about this, but I don't want to keep you too long. But that is true. And I agree with you. And I appreciate that because it feels like now we are at a place where we understand that it's not men need respect. It's like people in relationships should be respected,
Yeah.
respect each other.
Yeah, wholeheartedly.
Whenever you settle on a definition of something and then you are asked to elaborate, you contradict your own statement. I don't think you get it. I think we got to it. I think this was about when we were talking about leadership and strength and what we see normally, the status quo. Thank you. I appreciate that. Mistreating the mother is mistreating the child.
There's some truth to that. There's definitely some truth to that. With that whole cheating thing, if that's what that's about.
Yeah. How do you build?
Good Lord, Jesus. That's
Do you want to
wild.
read that? Do you want to read that?
I don't want to read it, but that's wild.
How do you build?
I
Sorry, I don't want to
can
interrupt you.
if you don't matter.
I can read it. How do you build healthy families with conquered? That is wild. That is insane to say. In fact, with conquered men who have no agency over their own lives and won't protect their families or feed them.
That's not all black men. Like Cynthia, you so hung up on these no good brothers that you ain't even seeing the good brothers who would treat you good and raise a family with you and take care of y'all and the main thing is treating you and the kids good and providing what he can provide, and y'all figure out what works for y'all and y'all household. That's another thing with the nuance. Like finding out what works for y'all household. Some households, yeah, the woman might make more money, but if y'all can find a way to make that work, then the man is, y'all can. I don't see a problem with that.
The issue is that they are not exposed to this level of the school. Yeah, I think a lot of the times we stay in our bubbles, and then when we get out of our bubbles, it becomes odd. Is he a father? He said no. Can he describe how he exhibits leadership in his family or community? He's not a father. How is he uplifting the black men who he believes need the support outside of making videos? Do you want to respond to how you're engaged in your community? Thank you for being a member for 10 months, by the way.
I mean, I just, as of right now, I'm just making videos. Like, I definitely try to help brothers out. Like HBO, I try to help a brother out when I can. I try to like speak life into brothers and just be there. But I can't save everybody. But I would love for us to be saved.
Would you stay with a woman that cheated on you?
Would I stay with a woman that cheated on me? Let me see. All right, so here go a wild answer to that. When I was like 19, I was dating a girl, and she and oh my god, I was green. I didn't know much. I did not know much. This girl caught a STI, and yes, this girl caught a STI, and she was on a girl I was with like that whole time period that we was together, and this was like like months and months and months into the relationship, and I hadn't been with nobody else, and she caught a STI, and she convinced me that it like she basically lied to me and said it came from just not another person, and I see how like 5 years later, it might have been like 5 years later, I was like, wait a minute, because she ended up breaking up with me or whatever, and like 5 years later, some years later, I was just like, wait a minute, you can't get no STI by yourself, you gotta have another person. And I was like, man, this girl took my innocence that I like. I guess you could say I didn't know too much, and I fell for that. But yeah, that girl had a whole STI out here. But I stayed with her until she broke up with me. Like not too long. I like literally not that long after all that came out, she ended up breaking up with me. I'm just like, well, damn.
Wait, so she broke up with you after you found out about her STI and giving you an STI?
But what's so crazy about this? This is what's so crazy. I went and got tested or whatever twice, and I didn't even catch nothing.
Ah, gotcha.
Like, cause her mama insisted on both of us going to get tested and all this and that. And
Wait, so
yeah,
how did you know she got an STI?
her mom told me, cause her mom, every woman I ever dated, like mothers have always loved me, like just just like parents love me, but her mama reached out to me and was like, I took her. She went and got it's a pap smear. That's like when women get like a test done and they run all of these other tests during that process. And her mama told me, hey, this is what came back on my daughter's results, and I respect you and I want you to go get tested and all this and that. That's what happened.
Wait, did the mother think you gave it to the daughter?
Yes, the mother actually thought I gave it to her daughter at first. Actually.
But it sounded like the mother was looking out for you.
No, that's actually how it went. The mother actually thought I gave it to her at first. Like in so many ways.
And she came to you calm and nice to protect you.
I mean, she didn't directly say it was me, but the way she was wording it, like she felt like I did it. So I went and got tested, you know, twice just to confirm. Like I didn't give your daughter nothing. Like I didn't get that to her.
All right. But would you stay with a woman so you found out she cheated on you?
I hope she didn't. To this day, I still hope she didn't. Like, but I guess she did. I guess. I guess.
Where she gonna get the ST?
I don't know. I was young. I was super young, but I don't know. She made it sound so convincing. When I
All
say
right. So would you date a woman who cheated on you?
I know I can say out my mouth no, but I think if I was like really in love, I think love do have people doing like wild things. And yeah, it's men out there who stay with women who cheat on them because they love them so much. So I don't know. I'm gonna say no. But I'd have been in love before. I'd have been in love. Like I'd have done some dumb things and I'd have been in love.
How many times have you been in love?
I think I've been in love probably 3 times.
How do you describe love?
Hmm.
What does love feel like?
Love, it just feels like somebody like has your back and like you're seen. And I feel like a lot of men go like a lot of their lives without feeling like that, just based on they might not meet the criteria by a lot of women to feel like to get that attention. So kind of like there's like this running joke that men get like 3 compliments their whole life. Like, there's a lot of truth to that. Like, it's a lot of truth to that.
Do you feel compliment and touch deprived?
Like I get compliments. I was at the bar actually like last week, and a girl, like one of the bartenders, she wasn't even my bartender. She comes up to me and starts asking me about myself, asking me if I'm single, and I'm like, yeah, I'm single. She's like, oh, you're too handsome to be single, and there's all this and that, and so I personally, I get compliments and whatnot, but it's a lot of dudes who don't. That's not their life.
Gotcha.
That's not their life.
Would you stay with someone who cheated on you after 50? Well, he said he didn't know. Thank you, by the way, She Free, for being a member for 48 months. That's a long time. That's almost like my longest relationship. We asking because we don't know. It's not a given. Lies. He said he wants women to struggle like past.
I don't want women to struggle.
100K is not enough. He has to make at least 300K, and that's the floor, not the ceiling.
Jesus. So she want, but that's an issue because it's a lot of women who feel like that, and that's literally like 300K. That's probably like 2%, 3-4% of the population or whatever. And you got 100 million women might want that same thing. What about all the other brothers who not in that percentage? Then
Yeah,
what? Like,
yeah.
that's ridiculous.
Someone said you have really nice skin.
Who, me?
I don't know. I think they might be. They said you have really nice skin, but I don't know if it's me or you. But
They
I
probably
think
talking about you.
no, not them girls. These girls will be dragging me. They're not complimenting me. Your leadership in Africa wasn't good for women.
I said earlier, I said, look, when African leadership, it was when the world was very uncivilized and people didn't understand humanity. They still don't understand humanity fully, but we're in a much better place nowadays.
You both have nice skin. Okay, so they were talking about both of us. I appreciate that.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I appreciate it. That's cool.
Wait, have people never told you you have nice skin?
I've always got complimented on my skin. I don't really like indulge in like a lot of like sugary sweet things, and I'm also a personal trainer, so I'm certified in health and wellness. So I just have a good understanding of dieting and supplementation and things in wellness. So yeah, like sugary food is like reason why most people have acne and whatnot, and like literally like cut out the sweets and people's skin will clear up. Drink more water.
Those men you say we need to stop dating are the men you protect and don't correct.
That I don't have nothing to do with them, man. As far as like I want better for them. I wish they were like better people, but I can't make them be better. All I can do is be myself, and hopefully I rub off on somebody. But that's best I can do. I can't force nobody to be a better man.
That is true. Sugar does affect you negatively. Oh, period. Why do men tell women what to do and how to choose instead of telling men to be better?
Men need to be better. Yes, the men who say that are also saying at the same time men need to be better. But unfortunately, excuse me, the women have to open the door to those men. That's the best safeguard we have. Until I don't know how it's gonna happen, but that's the best safeguard we do have. Do not open the door for those men. That's the best we got. Like that's all I can tell my sister or niece or something. Like, look, save yourself the trouble. Vet that man. Make sure that man is not a monster before you open the door for him, and that'll save you a lifetime of foolishness. Because a
So,
relationship cannot work out, and that man can still be a great father. That's a reality right there too.
Service Recovery Queen, thank you so very much. Theme is leading leaders to leadership. No, I don't think I think I'm a servant. I see myself as a servant, not a leader. Thank you. Benevolent patriarchs are rare now. I don't believe in benevolence of patriarchy. I think it's all bad. I'm referencing corporate black men. In law school, black men were very vocal about how they will only date white women because they will be high earners. I went to law school in Boston, and BM only black men only use black women for study groups. LOL. What do you think about those men who, like, when they become successful, they date out? Apparently, that's the thing that is being talked about here by court.
So with that, like I said, I'm the type of person I try to understand things. So with that, a lot of times those not 100%, but a lot of those black men they move like that from a place of hurt. Because like I say, for a brother to be in law school and all that, that's a lot of education. That's a lot of dedication, schoolwork. You know, and they 9 times out of 10 they probably valued education growing up, and I seen it in my school system, college and all. A lot of the black guys who valued education, they was called nerds and geeks, and by the very women that they wanted a lot of attention from, and they were people's mean to them. So they and maybe like a nerdy white girl or something, or might have gave them a chance, and that might have warped their whole perspective now, and now it became their preference. That type
So
of stuff happens.
there were no nerdy black girls there in your school.
They were there, but they didn't find each other. They just didn't find each other. And sometimes once you get grabbed up by something, that become your preference. If what
Gotcha.
you needed in that time was there, if that's what who was there in that time, that's how they go sometimes.
So you genuinely believe that the men who like white women do so because black women didn't want them?
Not 100% of the time, but a lot of the time, I have seen that. I literally have seen really like I have a cousin. He got a white girlfriend, and he wasn't your insert here generic what the media thinks is a black man. He wasn't that type of brother, and he dating a white girl. Like I don't make the rules with this stuff. This is just what it seems like out here.
Got it.
That's what it seems like.
Thank you, Court. But when women date bad men, it's a them problem. She has one more. He said expecting a man to have 75K is too much. I don't think that's what he said. Well, you're here. I don't have to. What do you is that what you said? What do you mean?
I mean, if you as a woman will expect a man to make 75K, you can feel like that. But I don't think that needs to be pushed because every man is not going to be able to make 75K. That's in the upper percentile, for the population of what people make. That's a lot of money. Like I said, I'm from the South. Where I'm from, people don't make 75K their entire life, their entire career, and they raise families and they are pillars in their communities. And they don't make 75K their whole life. I've seen that. That's real. But they still respected and they still loved. That's
Got it.
all.
Demons can Finchi come up to have a conversation. Finn said in the chat, she said she was sick. She said she was in bed,
Oh my
laid
goodness.
up.
She
He
got
said,
a lot to
well,
say. She has a lot to say. Like
oh, there she go again. This is silly. Black men can't even guarantee their own lives but want children. Yeah, no, black men complain about systemic abuse. Systemic abuse want to bring kids in it. Okay, this, I feel like people think this is disjointed. Actually, I don't know how I feel about this. If we actually believe, how do you respond to this question, this statement? Because I think people would dismiss it. I don't dismiss it.
like that's like basically saying it's like when people say poor people shouldn't have kids. It's nuance to that because I feel like okay, if just because people start off poor, start off in the ghetto or the trailer park, whatever you want to call it, I think that they can just because they don't have like financial means and ups and like a lot of it, I think they can like instill in their kids to hey value education, value being hard workers, and then their kids can do better than them and they can live full meaningful lives. Like I'm not overly invested in wealth and materialism. This is not my forte. I wasn't raised with all of that, and I feel like I had a nice life like growing up wise and didn't have all that extra stuff. Like
Would you, if you could not, would you have children you couldn't care for?
like in what way? Like you saying like finances?
Financially.
I mean, how did we even get to where we are nowadays? People made a way out of no way. Like people make a way. Just teach your kids to be good people, not out there hurting other people, robbing, stealing, killing, drug abuse. Teach them to be good people. Like that. There's nothing wrong with that.
I am fearful because I don't want to make a declarative statement to say don't have kids if you're poor, right? But it does feel selfish. And like, I feel like I don't like, I remember parts of Jamaica where kids are like starving, right? And so
Yeah.
I think there is an intrinsic unfairness that you're having kids in poverty and then doing nothing. Like, if the government provided a safety net for children and if the government cared about children, which they don't, then I would be with you. But in the absence of resources, I don't understand why. Like, I wouldn't personally have kids that I can't provide. Now, obviously, I could have a child and then go broke, right? And that's a different scenario. But I would never intentionally, while not being able to provide for myself, have kids. What is the argument to have kids when you can't provide for yourself?
Well, I can agree to that as far as now if it's extreme poverty, no. Kids need to be the last thing, extreme poverty. But if for a person's city that they live in, if they are making, they're considered poverty, but they're making, a certain amount of money and their relationship is built on, the right principles and whatnot, the structure. Look, if they want to have kids, then they gonna raise them kids right and beat up for them kids and teach them kids, hey, even though we come from these circumstances, we can get out of this. Yeah, they not a lot of kids, like, but I just want to disqualify people who are trying and love each other, and just because of those things, they just never have kids.
I do not like the Hotep man. I do not like him. Sam, I am. I do not like him on the live. I do not like his. I don't think. Do you know what Hotep is?
Yeah, no, yeah, hotel. That's like what, snake oil men.
Like the Dr. Umar esque people. I was
Yeah,
a Hotep
I,
in
I,
undergrad. I'm no longer that, but like I was I was like pro Black Hotep, but not anymore.
yeah. I don't fall. I don't think I fall on a hotel.
I'm still pro Black though. You said past people struggle fine, so we should too. Um,
I, I'm not. I can't make people's preferences. You know, like people feel how they gonna feel. Like all I'm saying is, money, love don't cost a thing, and life ain't all about wealth and luxury. I think it's about connection and humanity more than anything. And that's how I feel. That's wholeheartedly how I feel.
I saw a video where a man said, I would rather be with you than be by myself. When a man shapeshift to get a woman, how do you choose better? It is hard to choose better when there isn't better.
Once again, like it's just one of those. It's one of those things where you got to be intentional with who you dealing with. Like, and like I said, people. Yes, I know people wear masks and they try to fool you and deceive you. I know that's out there, but just keep your head on the swivel. Like I said, you study a person, you'll know. You'll learn a lot from somebody by studying them. Like in a relationship.
Thank you, Service Recovery Queen. There's two more. You said people in the past struggle. Oh, I read that. Sorry. One more. Tell him to take his scarf off, please. The scarf. Oh, the head wrap? No, I wouldn't do that. What? No. All right. What are some things you hope people take away? One, you can announce your channel. But two, what are some things you hope people take away from you and being here? And is there anything that you did not get to say?
Just I mean, like they don't necessarily have to, check out my content or whatever. It's not for everybody. It does have a taste of pro man to it, as far as like the man whose voice, the good man's voice, who should be heard more but isn't. I guess if I had to just say what my tribe was, and also just talking about money and love and all that thrown in between. It's not Oh, it's not just one niche. It's a little bit of those things combined. But I just want people to take away that people need to come together and love each other. Black men, black women. Humanity is important, and just
How can the good man be pro man?
look. How can a good man be pro man? Like I'm saying, like pro man, just as in, just it's so many brothers out there who don't have a voice and who aren't chosen and are chosen last, and they and morally wise and character wise, they should be ahead of a lot of individuals, and they just stay in the back of the line, and those are the people who should be more towards the front. That's all.
All right. Do you have any questions for me? I've asked that 3 times the last time.
Like what's the name of your channel, your TikTok?
Oh, I mean, it's Team is Thoth on TikTok, but like I don't really. I stopped posting like a year ago. I might come back. I go live on there randomly, but if you follow me, yeah. Let me see. Let me look at the name.
But
yeah, Team is Thoth on TikTok there.
Okay. I mean, I find it interesting that this whole interaction even happened. Like I just be making videos and I just be making videos.
Nope, no worries. The platform is available. I do men's panels sometimes. I stopped last year, but I might get back into it. It's hard because when I reach out to men or like Kilo reaches out, they'll say yes and then not show up. And so I'm trying to do more conversations with men because I do talk to a lot of women, and the channel is generally open for anyone to come up. So let me know, reach out if you want to talk or whatever. We're here. I'm here.
Okay. Yeah. I'm down with that.
All right. Thank you so much. I'm going to go into the after show and debrief with the channel. You can stay and we can talk after, or you can go. Either way, it's fine.
I can stay for a sec before I go do some stuff, I guess.
All right, cool. All right, everyone, we're going into the after show. I'll see you back on the other side. Thank you all so much for watching. There were like 600 people at one time. Okay. I do realize it's been slowing down the lives. I don't know what's happening, so I apologize for that. And for the people who get kicked out, not notified, I'm so sorry. Don't know how to fix that, but thank you all. To level set, one of the things that I'm trying to do is that women and men who've come on here have told me that I'm very combative, and I'm trying not to be. When I'm by myself, I get to talk my ish, so to speak, and I talk a lot. So whenever I'm interviewing someone, I will try to ask the questions I need answer, but it's more for them to talk and for me to be a sounding board, but obviously not letting someone walk all over me. But I do not want to create hostility all the time. Famous boy, did you say combative? It's Jamaican, combative. In Jamaica, we say combative. Here, I say apparently it's just combative. I appreciate you all so much for being with me. Keith, you've spent like 3 hours here. So I really appreciate that. I also appreciate that you responded and you showed up and we were able to do this because it's been very difficult to get people to follow through. I wish you luck on your TikTok journey. I will be watching. And if anything pops up again, I might reach out for clarification. And you can do the same. You're welcome to come on here and challenge me if I say something that you disagree with. But yeah.
I got you. Yeah, I'm cool with that.
All right. Well, thank you, everyone. We're going to end the stream, and I'll talk to you in the background when I end it. Bye, everyone. Oh, I'm traveling on the weekend, so Friday and live stream will not be a live stream. It will be a video. And I'm also posting a video tonight. So that.